It all started with lightning crackling intensely amid chaos, while a desperate plea urges an unseen force to kill him. Confused, Tsuyoshi questions how he ended up in this dire situation and wonders about his location. An imposing figure brandishes a weapon, threatening outsiders on sacred land and emphasizing isolation from humans. Tsuyoshi realizes he's in this place due to breaking an unspoken pact leading to a call for divine retribution. Overcome with fear, Tsuyoshi fears he might perish in this mysterious realm. 5 hours earlier, under moonlight, Tsuyoshi is urged to hurry his meal, presenting a calm, ordinary moment. Urgent instructions warn Tsuyoshi to stay diligent, noting they're not the only scavengers today. While eating, Tsuyoshi reflects on the competition, thinking about many people searching caves for scrap. A colleague comments on more cleaners joining, highlighting the mundane nature of their jobs compared to daily realities. The team is urgently mobilized as a member urges quick action and preparedness for incoming heroes. Despite his familiarity with it, Tsuyoshi admits to feeling a sense of unease as the team approaches a C-rank cave. Recalling past experiences, another cleaner imagines the even greater fear induced by higher-ranked caves, drawing comparisons with A-rank and S-rank caves. Entering the cave, the group finds it unusual that only a minimal presence of darklings challenges them, sparking curiosity. Celebrating an easy victory, the heroes acknowledge their fortune and the ease with which they earn their rewards, suggesting a favorable outcome. As a cleaner laments not becoming a hero capable of earning significant money, a reminder of failing the awakening test is issued, grounding their place. Politeness is exchanged as a hero expresses gratitude for the cleanup before allowing the cleaners to proceed. Tsuyoshi identifies himself, explaining the dynamics between heroes and cleaners who enter the caves only after its dangers have been subdued. Their task clearly defined, Tsuyoshi elaborates on their role as cleaners or trash collectors, distinctly separating their efforts from those of the heroes. Reflecting on his failure in the awakening test, Tsuyoshi admits his desire to become a hero despite his limitations, drawing a parallel between his world and theirs. The team arrives at a dilapidated C-rank cave, aware that time is limited before the cave closes, and everyone is urged to work swiftly. Tsuyoshi uncovers a fragment of a shield while scavenging, marking a small but significant find in the course of their work. Encouragement comes from a teammate, interpreting the find as a favorable omen and attributing the discovery to the watchful eyes of Tsuyoshi's ancestors. His determination bolstered, Tsuyoshi decides to explore further into the cave while planning a future regroup with the team in a few hours. Pushing deeper into the cave, he reasons that more valuable items are likely stashed further inside, driving his determination to continue. Despite rigorous searching, Tsuyoshi finds the area devoid of significant resources, leaving him anxious over his inadequate findings. As his team calls for him to meet up, Tsuyoshi acknowledges and communicates that he is near completion. The importance of his scavenging becomes apparent as Tsuyoshi worries about not having enough to cover Karina's medical costs, pressing him to find more. Suddenly, Tsuyoshi stumbles upon what appears to be a well, exciting him with the prospect of hidden treasures. Curiosity piqued, he questions the presence of a well inside the cave, speculating on potential valuable discoveries within. Considering his prospects, he hopes that any undamaged equipment found might offset Karina's expenses for a week, motivating his next actions. A skeletal hand reaches out, rays of light reflecting off a ring it's holding, drawing attention to the ring's significance. The scene shifts to a figure climbing within a cave. There's a sense of foreboding as they observe that a corpse was overlooked by previous adventurers. They express a hope that no one will notice the corpse's presence. The climber celebrates, acknowledging their possession of a rare ring. They ponder the monetary value the ring might fetch and the minor boosts it provides. Their excitement is palpable, considering it a fortune. Content with their discovery, the climber decides to wear the ring while planning to get it appraised later. They express gratitude, attributing their luck to ancestors, and decide to quickly regroup. Unexpectedly, the ring addresses the climber, announcing its recognition of them as its owner. The ring warns of an imminent change, suggesting an opening to a boundless passage. Suddenly, the climber is caught in a vortex. Panic sets in as they plead for help, unable to comprehend the swirling chaos. In another area of the cave, companions notice the climber's absence. They assume he wandered into another area, not realizing the urgency of his situation, and decide to continue their search leisurely. Regaining consciousness, the climber finds themselves bound by the beast folk, facing a solemn altar meant for receiving divine judgment. The altar's ominous aura is evident. The surroundings suggest sacredness to the beast folk, puzzling the climber. Confusion arises over their abrupt transportation to such a place. The Beast King is seated on an intimidating throne, commanding the start of a mysterious ritual. The authority and command exude power. A commanding figure announces to the crowd that the day has come to punish traitors, specifically highlighting a betrayal involving confidential information. Among the beast folk, reactions range from disdain to shaming the captured traitor. The crowd clamors for divine punishment for their transgressions. The Beast King's decree calls for the traitor to face divine justice, prompting the ensuing moment of judgment. Lightning surrounds a hammer on the altar, described as the hammer of the divine king, ready to seal the traitor's fate. Escape from divine judgment has never been achieved on this altar. The chant for divine punishment intensifies with a call to bring justice to the traitor echoing through the gathering. The order proclaims the punishment for outsiders attempting to invade their sacred lands, explaining the beast folk's isolation from the outside world. Panic-stricken, the climber desperately pleads for mercy, explaining their accidental entanglement in the situation. They plead for help, fearing for their sister's safety. The climber's internal struggle reveals their dreams and hopes, clashing with the cruel reality of their imminent demise. Their resolve to survive is evident. Outraged by the climber's presence, the beast folk demand his demise. Their ire rises at the notion of a human challenging their supremacy, reflecting their disdain. On the altar, the climber is pronounced guilty, with the call for divine punishment looming over them, yet they fight against the acceptance of death. The climber, defiant, refuses to accept death in such a place, driven by the urge to survive. Their determination remains unbroken. Despite anticipation, the climber evades the threatening lightning. The crowd's shock is apparent, questioning how such an event could occur. Observers note the climber's miraculous avoidance of divine punishment, expressing disbelief at the unprecedented spectacle. Standing resolute, the climber defiantly declares their refusal to die, challenging the gathered crowd with renewed determination. With confidence, the beast folk leader mocks the idea of single-strike divine punishment, readying for another round. The captured figures, among them a notable girl, face the crowd's jeers, feeling the intensity of their predicament. The struggle seems futile yet determined. A moment of introspection reveals the climber's inner voice refusing to succumb to death. Their spirit, symbolized by a glowing ring, shines with renewed hope. As if answering the plea, the ring activates a system meant to revive and bolster the user, setting off transformation and physical enhancement. Suspense builds as the Beast King questions the climber's survival, uncertainty clouding over the gathered tribe. Observers see the climber undergoing a profound change, with the transformation process visibly advancing. Those watching react with disbelief, uncertainty growing. The process of constructing the ultimate physique has started, reaching 40% completion, and involves scanning and inputting the skill referred to as the divine eye. As progress increases to 60% completion, the figure becomes more defined, embodying the skill's divine consciousness inventory and absolute duplication during the continuation of skill loading. The imposing figure of the Beast King expresses disbelief, noting the impossibility of the event and acknowledging that no one except the Divine King himself has gotten so close to the hammer of the Divine King. The Beast King, observing the scenario, contemplates whether the individual is attempting to lift the hammer of the Divine King. A faint but compelling voice seems to be reaching out, questioning if the speaker is indeed the one doing the calling amid the ongoing spectacle. The mysterious voice seeks clarification about why they were summoned, as the ultimate physique construction is finalized at 100%, followed by the inputting of the special status Chosen One being completed. There is a realization that the Divine Hammer has issued the call, prompting an intention to utilize its bestowed power. A resolve is demonstrated to harness the power of the Divine Hammer, signifying decisive action. A notification appears, informing the individual of acquiring the Divine Hammer and reaching level 3, although their capabilities are yet inadequate to demonstrate its full potential, urging them to become stronger. A female character reveals her astonishment at witnessing a human lift the Divine Hammer, processing the peculiarity of the situation. The Beast King is again struck by disbelief, declaring it impossible for a mere human to handle the sacred Divine Hammer, adamant that such an event cannot be allowed. The Beast King speculates on the possibility of a mistake, noting even the great Beast King couldn't lift the hammer, and tradition dictates that whoever lifts it will govern the beastmen. Experiencing a newfound strength, the character assesses the situation and acknowledges a significant personal transformation. Upon checking the status, the character discovers they have reached level 3 and contemplates the implications. A sudden realization hits regarding the divine selection system, questioning if this newfound status is related to it. The Beast King, furious, challenges the human, demanding they refrain from touching the divine hammer with unworthy hands. A group of beastmen sees hope in the intervention of their great general Ryuga, confident he will maintain the pride of the beastmen by reclaiming the hammer. Accusations from the Beast King ensue, suspicious of tricks used to escape divine punishment and lift the hammer, viewing the act as insolence. Looking formidable, the Beast King orders the immediate return of the hammer in a calm yet intimidating way. Along with the demand for the hammer, the Beast King insists on the human accepting the rightful punishment as retribution. A notification activates, highlighting the passive skill Divine Eye, allowing the character to access detailed information on any item by focusing on it, indicating no cooldown period. Using the Divine Eye, the character obtains comprehensive details about General Ryuga, learning about his high-level and formidable weaponry. The character's realization of being able to see an opponent's information leaves them pondering if this, too, is part of the system, considering its features. General Ryuga, observing the human, questions their audacity to rise against him, noting the unexpected backbone shown. Facing imminent confrontation, the human expresses a misunderstanding and protests the idea of fighting an adversary as powerful as a level 84 warrior. Ignoring the plea, General Ryuga charges with immense force, intent on delivering a decisive blow, not heeding the protest call. Observers remark on the dire situation, acknowledging General Ryuga's formidable strength as one of the great generals under the Beast King, realizing the human predicament. Surprisingly, the human successfully blocks the attack, though their hands sting from the impact. They find the hammer unexpectedly sturdy. General Ryuga internally assesses the situation, noting the resilience of the human who manages to withstand his quick slash, even with a mere hammer. Acknowledging the lucky escape the hammer provided, General Ryuga warns that there won't be a next time as the human tries to explain the misunderstanding, hoping for resolution. Tsuyoshi stands determined, insisting he's from another world and pleading for someone to listen to his story, showing desperation and urgency. Without hesitation, a powerful figure charges at Tsuyoshi, declaring there's nothing worth hearing from him, ignoring his plea entirely. The menacing character plans to launch Tsuyoshi skyward, intending to finish him with a move called Earthquake Shaker, demonstrating his overwhelming confidence. Tsuyoshi, caught in midair, marvels at the possibility of being able to replicate skills, realizing there's more to his abilities. He contemplates sensing an opponent's heart with his hand, realizing that it implies a more intimate form of combat, which astonishes him. As he braces himself, Tsuyoshi understands the importance of physical contact in mastering these skills, his hand reaching towards his opponent. Overwhelmed by an array of choices, Tsuyoshi struggles to decide on a skill, feeling the pressure of selecting the right one quickly. His opponent, confused by Tsuyoshi's actions, demands to know what's being done to him, while Tsuyoshi prepares his counterattack, focused and ready. Tsuyoshi considers a skill, noting that it seems compatible with his hammer, deciding it might be the best option available. With determination, he acknowledges having fully replicated a skill called Heaven Shaker and resolves to use it, knowing he cannot die here. The opponent is shocked and incredulous, struggling to comprehend how Tsuyoshi has managed to use a technique that wasn't his. Surprisingly, the opponent doesn't feel pain from Tsuyoshi's attack and instead finds the power control somewhat pleasant and relieving. Enraged and insulted, the powerful character accuses Tsuyoshi of humiliating him and declares their encounter has reached its end, commanding it to stop. The onlookers stir with realization. The mighty Beast King himself has decided to engage, impressing and intimidating those around him. With calm composure, the Beast King discerns that Tsuyoshi has been chosen by the Divine Hammer, recognizing a significant event unfolding. He considers this choice could be a divine sign, pointing to it as potential guidance from the gods, alluding to Tsuyoshi's importance. Acknowledging the rarity, the Beast King tells Tsuyoshi that he is the first in ages to be chosen by the Hammer, highlighting Tsuyoshi's unique position. Addressing his fellow beastmen, the Beast King muses on the human's ability to lift the Divine Hammer, an act previously deemed impossible. He concludes that if Tsuyoshi is indeed their future leader, they should allow him the opportunity to develop and reach his potential. The crowd, hesitant and doubtful, acknowledges the prophecy but remains skeptical, pointing out Tsuyoshi's humanity as a concern. Some challenge the Beast King, emphasizing that Tsuyoshi is unmistakably human, urging him to consider this fact carefully. The Beast King remains unfazed, questioning whether the prophecy demands the leader to be beastmen, suggesting embracing this hope for their future. Acknowledging the unorthodox situation, the wise elder contemplates the future implications if they accept a non-beastman leader as per the prophecy. In a decisive tone, the Beast King questions Tsuyoshi, wanting to know his name as the first step towards acknowledging him. Tsuyoshi introduces himself confidently, and the Beast King offers freedom in exchange for Tsuyoshi bearing their future, noting his current weakness. Giving him a year to gain strength, the Beast King challenges Tsuyoshi to return and prove his worthiness to become their leader. He warns Tsuyoshi of a mental mark placed on him, which will ensure that if he fails to return, it will find and end him. Tsuyoshi, initially confused, is urged to accept the challenge, prompting him to assess his situation and options quickly. Encouraged by another, Tsuyoshi is reminded to seize his freedom and grow stronger, tapping into his newfound potential. Reflecting on his path, Tsuyoshi considers using a skill called Divine Eye, burdened by the memory of a girl destined for punishment. The scene introduces a female warrior, her details listed, level 72, a beastman who uses daggers, with no visible weapons. She reflects on the value of life, expressing gratitude for the god's miracle. A male character is surprised by her high level and questions why she is marked as a criminal, pondering her strength as a warrior. The man thanks her, acknowledging the miracle she mentioned. He stands alongside a large warrior, emphasizing his gratitude for being saved. He resolves to survive and find a way back to his original world, understanding there's no time to hesitate. While agreeing to an offer, the man appears thoughtful, conditions forming in his mind about the future steps he must take. He insists that she should accompany him. She seems startled by this decision, questioning her own role and importance in the plan. He feels that debts are settled between them, the sense of balance and fairness now restored. Reflecting in a dimly lit place, he recalls a voice from the past, thinking back to the moment it all began. The boundless ring holds significance, sparking the series of events. He ponders its mysterious nature while holding it closely. He can't remove the ring and acknowledges the bizarre abilities granted him. His return to the original world seems uncertain. A character expresses a decision to serve him, regarding him as his savior. She stands confidently, her loyalty declared. The idea of such a charming companion calling him master overwhelms him, apparently finding it charming. His reply dismisses any grand gestures, suggesting they should support each other instead. The terms master or being served seem trivial to him. She expresses deep gratitude, saying her life has been renewed thanks to him. Her words carry sincerity. The connection they formed is unique to her. She wishes only him to receive her thanks and devotion, practically pleading. She reiterates that his presence is a miracle, determined to devote herself entirely to him, finding purpose in his leadership. He agrees to her request for the title Master, amused. The mood lightens as they prepare to move forward. She comments on the late hour, noting the passage of time while they continue their journey under the night sky. He follows closely, advising her to watch her step, indicating the path they tread holds potential risks. The vast and breathtaking world astounds him, a stark contrast to his previous life. It leaves him in awe. As thoughts of Karina intrude, doubt seeps in. He recalls being awaited as a notification on the ring alerts his cooldown status. He connects the boundless passage to this realm, contemplating the route back home. Yet he deliberates if the path still exists. With hope, he attempts to activate the boundless passage, questioning its operation and his own understanding. A surge of realization hits him. He perceives this as the moment to return, filled with anticipation and hope. The sensation of space-time distortion overwhelms his senses as he feels himself being transported, an intense experience. Upon landing, he questions if he's truly back, the surroundings familiar yet foreign, leaving him uncertain. Relief washes over him as he tests the abilities gained from the other world, confirming they remain intact. Checking his status, he finds it unchanged at level 3. He wonders why the Divine Hammer still appears in his inventory. Pondering the mechanics of shared levels, he suspects the Divine Inventory granted this continuity. He wonders about the implications. A voice from above warns him to exit before the cave closes, pushing him to act swiftly, urgency coloring the command. Two people in protective suits are in a cave. One questions why the other is still there, stating they've been away for hours. The suited person is puzzled, expressing that time in the other world felt like 5 hours, though something seems off. The speaker stresses the urgency of leaving the cave immediately to avoid being trapped forever. Another person descends a rope, reflecting that time was somehow frozen. Contemplating the experience, they find it surreal, like something out of a manga, whether time remains still while in the other world. They wonder if time in the alternate world is also frozen and question the original owner of a mysterious ring they possess. Another suited figure acknowledges the old man, asking what's happening. A discussion arises regarding an upcoming awakening test scheduled for the next day. In a dramatic scene, a character is carrying a girl and she tells him she can't feel her legs. The girl, concerned, questions if their parents are okay amidst the chaos. The brother's expression is filled with disbelief about their current tragic situation. Urged by an older man not to stop carrying her, he is told that doing so would mean death. The older man warns against returning, or both he and Karina will be consumed by darkness. The brother, emotionally torn, pleads about their parents still being at home, struggling with a decision. They focus on getting Karina's injured legs to a hospital, highlighting the urgency over the other issues. Karina inquires if her brother will attempt the next day's awakening test, noting his recent return from a difficult journey. In a hospital room, Karina is thanked for her thoughtfulness, and she's reminded to rest as well. They share a brief moment discussing her condition. He asks if her legs still hurt and reassures himself she's fine. Pain from nerve damage requires Karina to take medication, although she's grown accustomed to the discomfort. Observing, he realizes how much Karina is truly suffering, feeling deeply for her situation. Information about her condition displays limited prospects for recovery, emphasizing a slight possibility of walking unaided. From his perspective, he reflects on her unrealized potential to lead a normal life full of opportunities. Despite struggles, her resilient character shines through as she remains his sole family. Determined, he vows to restore her ability to walk, clinging to hope despite the slim odds. With resolve, he believes a way must exist to achieve his goal, dreaming of becoming a hero. Armed with more information, he contemplates finding a solution to the problems they face. It's not just about healing Karina. He yearns to lead a life filled with pride and accomplishment. Raising his fist to the sky, he swears to become the strongest hero there is. The scene shifts to the testing site, noting his measurement results show a level 3 combat power of 540. A congratulatory message echoes as he officially becomes recognized as a hero. A man with glasses offers the hero's emblem, explaining it's tailored based on test results. Excitedly, another character celebrates reaching the status of hero, while a friend encourages them to keep striving for C rank. Plans for a big feast are underway. Two figures stand silhouetted by a window. One remarks on Tsuyoshi Tsukishiro, retaking the test after a previous failure. The man with glasses advises Tsuyoshi to place his hand on a measurement device, expressing doubt about any change from last time. Tsuyoshi enters, showing determination, pondering if this test will prove another failure or a worthwhile attempt. The assessor explains that if Tsuyoshi failed once, the outcome is likely to remain unchanged, as the device measures scientifically. Watching Tsuyoshi depart, the man comments on the stubborn nature of people who frequently attempt the test. Tsuyoshi, now inside a futuristic chamber, overhears a commentary speculating about the last test subject's combat power and level. Contemplating his own status, Tsuyoshi reflects on his current qualification as level 3, wondering about his combat power. Determined to take the test seriously, Tsuyoshi initiates an ultimate physique activation. A sudden activation causes the ground to shake, surprising the man with glasses, who questions if it's an earthquake. The measurement screen displays an unprecedented combat power of 5,400, breaking the 30-year-old record for a level 3 hero. Tsuyoshi is in disbelief, realizing his power is 10 times that of the previous person's score. He muses about his unexpected physical resilience, a factor he hadn't anticipated. Tsuyoshi resolves to aim for the strongest, embracing everything as part of his plan. Curiosity piqued, Tsuyoshi considers the might of the Divine King's hammer, intrigued by its potential power. A notification explains the constraints on using the Divine King's hammer, hinting at the energy depletion it causes. Tsuyoshi calculates that 1 second should suffice to gauge his combat power. Tsuyoshi readies himself and decides to give it a shot, grasping the Divine King's hammer. Releasing the power of the Divine King's hammer, there's a notification of its activation for just 1 second. Tsuyoshi feels his energy drain instantly as the effects of the activation overwhelm him. He urges for an immediate measurement of his increased combat power, eager to know the outcome. A dramatic visual of lightning over the city accompanies the sensation of an earthquake, surprising onlookers. In the aftermath, a decision is made to suspend testing due to the blackout, urging everyone to evacuate. Reflecting as he leaves, Tsuyoshi acknowledges underestimating the hammer's drain on his strength, resolving not to use it until stronger. At the training grounds, Gaia introduces himself as the hero in charge of Tsuyoshi's training. Gaia states that the upcoming instructions will be rigorous but insists on pacing up. His credentials as a level 9 warrior are displayed. Tsuyoshi wonders about his potential combat power when he reaches level 9, noting Gaia's 1,200 combat power. Gaia internally voices boredom with training rookies, preferring exploration of D-ranked dungeons over these tasks. Gaia informs the group about entering a D-ranked dungeon, surprising the trainees who weren't expecting field experience so soon. Trainees express their confusion, questioning the sudden transition to dungeons and lamenting the skipped week of basic training. The man with long, gray hair demands action, insisting there's no time for basic physical training. Now that everyone is a hero, honing skills through real combat is essential. Instructing them strictly, he warns about the intense training regimen. If they can't handle it, they should leave. But recruits nervously agree to follow his orders without questions. As the recruits train, a man reflects on the leader's actions. He's venting frustrations, but at the end of the day, a hero is still human. A young man shrugs off the pressure, thinking about reaching level 72. He plans to return to his girl in the other world once the cooldown for the passage ends. Meanwhile, the city is experiencing a power outage due to an earthquake. The Hero Union confirms no injuries have been reported during the incident. In his apartment, Tsuyoshi makes plans. With the cooldown period over, he is eager to return to the other world, grow stronger, and gather necessary equipment. He commands the passage to open with determination, using an ornate ring. Bright light emanates from it, signaling the beginning of his journey back. As Tsuyoshi steps through, he acknowledges returning to the familiar land, ready to face whatever awaits him. Taking in his surroundings, he notes how the scenery remains unchanged since his last visit. It's as if time stands still in this world. Observing his attire, he realizes it has reverted to what it was during his first visit. Everything, including time and equipment, returns to their original state. A female companion notices his distraction, asking if something's bothering him. He suddenly remembers an important matter he had overlooked. Dismissing her concern, he shifts focus to leveling up. He asks her to lead the way into their next adventure. Delighted by his eagerness, she expresses happiness and encourages him. Her enthusiasm is infectious as they prepare to embark on their quest. She suggests a nearby goblin nest for practice, cautioning him about their lecherous and cunning nature despite their low level. Tsuyoshi remarks that if goblins are truly as dangerous as described, she better be the one exercising caution. He anticipates experiencing what the divine selection system will bring. Motivated, Tsuyoshi declares the goblins as their first target. Both of them brace themselves for what lies ahead. Under the moonlit night, they approach the goblin den. Tsuyoshi warns his companion to be quiet, ensuring they don't wake the sentries. He acknowledges her impressive level and combat power, much to her surprise. She wonders how he knows her level so precisely. Tsuyoshi, confident in his abilities, reminds her of his role as her master. He requests a demonstration of her fighting capabilities against a high-level hero. She explains combat dynamics and the nuances of defeating stronger enemies without earning points. However, she agrees to show him her abilities. Preparing herself, she steps forward, unleashing her skills. Tsuyoshi watches attentively, eager to learn and impressed by her prowess. Amazed by her moves, Tsuyoshi appreciates her level 72 warrior skills. Her precise actions leave him in awe. Showering her with compliments, he tells her she's incredibly kind. Her contributions to their team don't go unnoticed. She insists on giving her all against any opponent, hoping her skills were useful. Tsuyoshi requests her to teach him the impressive technique she used. She explains the instant step slash is not quite suited for him yet and points out he hasn't selected an occupation. Tsuyoshi decides to become a warrior, relying on her level 72 experience. With her guidance, skills replication will be streamlined. He switches to the warrior occupation, acknowledging the need for a suitable weapon. A notification confirms his status change. Touched by his decision, she promises to support Tsuyoshi, driven by his choice to pursue the warrior path because of her. Committed to assisting his growth, she suggests they begin by gathering equipment. Her dedication to his advancement is evident. As they prepare for a shift change, they stand amongst defeated goblins, ready for their next challenge. The adventure continues with renewed vigor. Tsukishiro asks for a dagger, wanting to try something while a notification signals the silver dagger being borrowed. Beastwoman expresses concern about Tsukishiro engaging an enemy of the same level directly. Tsukishiro charges at goblins, mentioning he hasn't fully tested the power of Heaven's Shaker yet. Beastwoman reflects on the difficulty of defeating goblins of the same level, noting that even a group would struggle. Tsukishiro finds the battle surprisingly easy and plans to level up by the end of the night. Apologizing for the inconvenience, Tsukishiro gives Beastwoman a makeshift weapon. Tsukishiro reassures Beastwoman that a goblin stick isn't too bad of a weapon while considering the need for better equipment. Tsukishiro realizes the importance of proper equipment to defend against attacks. He shares that he researched the Divine Consciousness inventory earlier. Tsukishiro discovers that items in this inventory can be used in both worlds, finding this interesting. Noting only 2 inventory slots, Tsukishiro realizes the hammer occupies one, leaving just one space. Tsukishiro contemplates how the Divine Consciousness inventory expands with growth and level increases. Beastwoman checks if something is wrong as Tsukishiro considers equipment needs divided into 5 parts. Tsukishiro muses about the allure of beast-eared girls and wonders about other races in this world. He reassures that nothing is the matter, just confirming Beastwoman is following him. Suddenly, Beastwoman alerts Tsukishiro to something behind him. Goblins ambush them, marking the duo as intruders. Beastwoman warns how the goblins get stronger as they delve deeper, sparking Tsukishiro's curiosity about experience points. Beastwoman insists on handling the threat alone to gain the full experience. The goblins express surprise, calling Tsukishiro a reckless fool. After defeating enemies, Tsukishiro notices the experience gain is higher, contemplating getting stronger faster. Beastwoman admires Tsukishiro's explosive power, noting his surprising strength level. As they advance, the experience gain surges, leaving Beastwoman amazed at Tsukishiro's capabilities. Tsukishiro acknowledges the skill is satisfactory but wishes for better weapons, marveling at the sixth kill. Reflecting on past cleaning jobs, Tsukishiro recalls heroes complaining about slow experience growth. People fret over joining guilds as dungeons are fiercely contested, wondering about leveling opportunities. Tsukishiro finds the solo experience gain in this world astounding, delighted at his progress. With ambition, Tsukishiro plans rapid leveling, thinking they will soon face the boss. Tsukishiro wonders if the powerful figure ahead is the goblin boss. Tsukishiro and Beastwoman realize the boss is possessed by darkness, raising the stakes. Tsuyoshi ponders the presence of darkness in this world and wonders if it's connected to the original world's ominous caves he once encountered. The entity's identity remains elusive, yet eerily familiar. Tsuyoshi and a girl stand back to back, pondering if these dark forces could be linked. The girl's mention of their formidable enemies echoes Tsuyoshi's thoughts about their shared plight and formidable foes they must face. The girl's voice rises as she contemplates the monstrous darkness that shrouds itself in mystery. She asserts her determination to face this boss alone, driven by a mysterious sense of responsibility. A fierce determination grips Tsuyoshi as he exclaims his intention to defeat this darkness. His internal struggle reveals the weight of this mission, driven by a connection to his past. Within the chaos of battle, Tsuyoshi declares his intent to seek vengeance upon those who destroyed his family. His determination fuels each swing of his weapon, aided by the girl's support. The fight intensifies as Tsuyoshi accuses the enemy of having ruined Karina's life. His fierce resolve escalates in an imminent confrontation, his mind flooded with memories. In the heat of combat, the girl urgently calls out to Tsuyoshi about his weapon, emphasizing the demanding pace of their tactical engagement. Tsuyoshi understands the critical nature of her words. Tsuyoshi, visibly strained, refuses to be defeated by the adversary responsible for his parents' deaths and Karina's suffering. Every fiber of his being resists succumbing to defeat. A notification announces the completion of Tsuyoshi's ultimate physique activation. This transformation provides him with incredible strength to channel against his enemy, ready for the showdown. Another notification advises caution, noting intense strain on Tsuyoshi's enhanced right hand. He determines to proceed without a weapon despite recognizing the risk of injury. Tsuyoshi resolves to wield his own body as a weapon, feeling power surge through him. His inner monologue aligns with the ferocity needed to overcome overwhelming odds. Tsuyoshi observes his leveled-up state and muses about his increased strength. He vows to exterminate all manifestations of darkness, clutching to the resolve forged by recent battles. The girl notices Tsuyoshi's overstrained arm and calls out with concern. Despite his agony, Tsuyoshi grapples with the intense aftermath of his augmented physical state. An alert warns of severe harm to Tsuyoshi's right hand, risking necrosis. He admits exceeding his limits, while another notification advises how to redirect and strengthen his capabilities. Tsuyoshi, in pain, finds solace as the girl cradles him, expressing the hurt in his arm. The gentle moment balances the earlier intensity, hinting at the bond they share. The girl reassures Tsuyoshi, promising swift recovery with the medicine she possesses. The scene shifts to hope as they momentarily rest, anticipating recovery. An hour passes and two creatures cheerfully engage in light-hearted antics. Their playful behavior shifts focus momentarily from Tsuyoshi's struggle. Tsuyoshi sits up, already feeling rejuvenated. He acknowledges the girl's efforts, sensing remarkable improvement in his condition that revitalizes his spirit. Observing his recovery speed, Tsuyoshi speculates about the potent effectiveness of this world's pharmaceutical history. He marvels at the swift impact of such ancient remedies. Tsuyoshi expresses gratitude for the medicine's efficacy, feeling stronger than before. His appreciation for his renewed strength aligns with their mutual success. The girl excitedly suggests they collect their rewards. Her cheerful demeanor matches their achievement, driving their shared anticipation for what awaits. Tsuyoshi suddenly remembers the reward, voiced in delighted surprise. Their next steps are stamped with renewed enthusiasm as they look upward toward the exit. A notification informs Tsuyoshi of the reward upgrade achieved by defeating the cave's boss. It highlights the distinction gained from their rapid accomplishment. They uncover a treasure chest labeled as having darkness's rare items. The allure of such treasures awakens curiosity about the powerful contents guarded within. Tsuyoshi's effort culminates in opening the chest, eager for the reward he perceives as blissful. This moment of triumph underscores their fulfilled journey. Notification of the Dark Goblin set reveals their grand reward. The girl expresses the importance of this gift, predicting its future utility in their adventures. Tsuyoshi pauses, faced with inventory constraints. His consideration signifies the strategic thought required to manage their treasures effectively. Tsuyoshi contemplates whether the full outfit occupies a single inventory slot. He decides to check the capacity, marking this as an intriguing uncertainty. Reward accepted, Tsuyoshi marvels at adding the Dark Goblin set to his inventory. This seamless addition draws attention to the satisfaction derived from strategic success. The girl curiously questions Tsuyoshi's smile, unearthing his lighthearted demeanor amidst lighter surroundings. This scene contrasts with prior battles, emphasizing lightheartedness. Tsuyoshi and Sakura are talking. He mentions casually looking at the set reward. Sakura asks if he can sew, and he replies that he can. Sakura shares that she has been sewing since she was a little girl and has a sewing kit on hand. Sakura presents the finished sewing task of Tsuyoshi, checking if it meets his approval. He acknowledges her work appreciatively. Tsuyoshi praises Sakura for her skill, exclaiming she's talented. Sakura modestly responds that she's glad to be of service. Tsuyoshi reflects on leveling up and equipping his gear, deciding it's time to return. Walking through the grass, Tsuyoshi suggests they should rest and recover for the night. Sakura eagerly agrees to the plan. Tsuyoshi finally returns home, collapsing onto his bed, recalling the walk and finding a place to stay. He mentions waiting for Sakura to fall asleep before returning to rest. Tsuyoshi lies in bed, thinking about the successful acquisition of various items and equipment. He ponders about needing sleep, understanding he can't halt the flow of time in this world forever. With thoughts on exploring a cave for the first time, Tsuyoshi sets his mind on the next day's adventure. The following day arrives with bright, clear skies, hinting at the activities awaiting. A prompt appears for Tsuyoshi about equipping the Dark Goblin set from his inventory, offering a choice to wear it. Upon choosing to wear the Dark Goblin set, details of the special skills like Roaring Tentacles are described, promising a power boost. Tsuyoshi marvels at the special skills provided by the new gear, feeling thrilled about the enhancement. Despite the enjoyment of the new outfit, Tsuyoshi acknowledges the potential trouble if seen by others, including heroes in this gear. Thoughts arise about heroes killing others to steal such rare equipment, making caution necessary. Tsuyoshi considers how his conspicuous gear can make him stand out, especially as a newcomer. He finds an option to hide the gear's appearance, choosing to make it resemble normal clothes, pleased with the perfect solution. With time before a meeting, Tsuyoshi decides to grab some bread, but is interrupted by a ringing phone in his pocket. The call is from Karina's nurse, urgently informing Tsuyoshi of threatening people at the hospital, demanding he comes immediately. The urgency intensifies as he is warned not to let anyone touch Karina, motivating Tsuyoshi to hurry. As Tsuyoshi prepares for action, information about his level, skills, and equipment is shown, indicating readiness for a challenge. In the hospital, someone is pleading for Tsuyoshi to wait for their brother amidst a tense situation. Karina is distressed, asking perpetrators not to touch her and questioning their intentions. A man explains that although she may appear innocent, there's a contractual reason to take her due to her brother's unpaid debts. He elaborates on the value of a girl like Karina on the black market, signaling ulterior motives grounded in greed. Karina protests, insisting her brother wouldn't sign such a contract, accusing the man of deceit. The man dismisses her claims, speaking about inadequate weekly payments barely covering interest, demanding the principal amount. He threatens that compliance would make things easier for her, indicating potential leniency if she agrees. A sinister warning follows, suggesting that refusal would lead to harsh consequences, maintaining a dark, threatening aura. With fierce determination, Tsuyoshi bursts onto the scene, commanding everyone to brace themselves for what is about to come. Tsuyoshi examines his status card, noting his warrior occupation and Dark Goblin set equipment. He sees that he has no skills but a replicated skill called Heaven Shaker. His experience is currently 0 out of 6,000. Karina is in a wheelchair and calls out for her brother, her voice filled with desperation and urgency in the dimly lit setting. As Tsuyoshi enters, a man sarcastically remarks on his delayed arrival, emphasizing Karina's presence in the wheelchair beside him. The man questions Tsuyoshi's anger, reminding him of their prior agreement, and harshly comments on not needing a crippled sister like Karina. Tsuyoshi focuses on his strongest body part, his legs, which have been strengthened for increased movement speed as he prepares to confront the situation. The man becomes furious, exclaiming that nobody has ever defied him, showing his anger towards Tsuyoshi's unexpected resistance. He pulls out a gun, expressing disbelief at Tsuyoshi's defiance against the Blue Snake team, which is unprecedented. In anger, he fires the gun, telling Tsuyoshi to just die as chaos erupts in the room. Shock ensues as Tsuyoshi seemingly catches the bullet with his bare hands, leaving the man and his companions astounded and declaring it impossible. Tsuyoshi stands revealed as a hero, now with his hands marked as his strongest body part, impervious to ordinary weapons. Meanwhile, a nurse urgently runs through the hallway, informing a guard about loan sharks threatening a patient and her brother. A thug confronts Tsuyoshi about repaying their boss, mentioning that the young boss is also a hero. He then excuses himself politely after the exchange. The thugs, ready to leave, bow respectfully to the nurse, acknowledging her authority as they exit the scene. The thug contemplates reporting to his boss about Tsuyoshi becoming a hero, failing their plan to take away his sister. The Blue Snake Gang boss is revealed to be formidable at level 10. Tsuyoshi apologizes to Karina for not visiting her as often. She's relieved as the thugs have left and they share a quiet moment in the room. Tsuyoshi acknowledges the danger of the Blue Snake Gang returning for repayment, but assures Karina of his new status as a hero, determined to protect her. Karina, in disbelief at her brother's claim, listens as he explains his current intern status and plans to become officially recognized after a cave mission. He reveals his debt motivation, having borrowed money for Karina's treatment. He considers selling his hero equipment as a possible solution. Tsuyoshi anticipates the closure of the Unbounded Passage, an event crucial for his official recognition as a hero, fostering hope. Gaia, a level 9 warrior, addresses a gathered group, ensuring everyone's presence as preparations commence for their trials. Gaia outlines the trial rules, emphasizing the importance of gathering all hero equipment from the cave, bringing unease to the listeners. Tsuyoshi reflects on rumors of the Union of Heroes ignoring such events, but dismisses concerns over the cave's low-level nature. Gaia reassures participants of their success under his guidance given his level 9 warrior status, promising a straightforward test if they adhere. The test comes with a cost as Gaia demands 20,000 yen for each participant in exchange for becoming official heroes through his assistance. Tsuyoshi questions the additional fee, challenging Gaia's motives, pointing out that participants are already offering all equipment they find. A fellow participant warns Tsuyoshi against confronting Gaia, revealing his affiliation with the guild Crazy Wolf, suggesting the reason for Gaia's bold demands. Tsuyoshi stands firm, refusing to support someone who oppresses the weak despite any consequences, adhering to his own principles. Gaia taunts Tsuyoshi for his inability to pay, mockingly suggesting he opt for a solo test, questioning his intelligence with clear disdain. The crowd around Tsuyoshi reacts to the prospect of a solo test, highlighting its unprecedented difficulty, mocking him for his defiance over the fee. Tsuyoshi sees an opportunity in the solo test suggestion, finding it convenient for his plans, stepping confidently toward Gaia. Tsuyoshi feels confident as he prepares for his solo test, affirming his desire to ensure readiness by signing up for a final check, wanting to be certain before proceeding. A bystander warns Tsuyoshi that no one has ever passed such a test, implying it's akin to a suicide mission for new trainees, but Tsuyoshi insists on continuing, thanking the person for their advice. Tsuyoshi enters the test area, leaving the bystander stunned by the madness of his decision, but determined to face what's ahead. The test parameters reveal Tsuyoshi's application has been confirmed for a level C test, typically requiring 5 participants with significant combat power, indicating the challenge he is about to face alone. Tsuyoshi observes the cave, commenting on the hero clean's darkness, questioning if this is the cave's original state, which he has never seen before. As Tsuyoshi reflects on his own abilities, he acknowledges that a surprise attack from a power of this level will not harm him, due to his impressive combat value. A fierce battle ensues with a dark goblin, and Tsuyoshi notes the creature's strength as he engages it with his own powers. Despite acknowledging the goblin's strength, Tsuyoshi confidently states that compared to his fighting power, it amounts to nothing as he swiftly overcomes it. Tsuyoshi reflects on how real-world enemies offer less experience than expected, attributing the slow growth of heroes to this discrepancy. Provoked by unseen attackers, Tsuyoshi calls out, challenging them to come at him all at once rather than sneaking up, demonstrating his fearless attitude. Tsuyoshi unleashes his power, inviting all adversaries to confront him simultaneously, showcasing his readiness and boldness. Observing from a distance, a spectator notes that Tsuyoshi has endured the grueling test for nearly an hour, suggesting it's more than sufficient for someone on their own. The onlooker questions Tsuyoshi's sanity, expressing disbelief at his willingness to face a solo test and foreseeing his potential failure as noteworthy. Surprised by the results, the spectator discovers that Tsuyoshi has successfully passed the solo test, leaving him in shock and disbelief. With his mission complete, Tsuyoshi casually inquires about a nearby place to wash up, signifying the completion of a daunting task. Another character named Gaia addresses Tsuyoshi, acknowledging his unexpected success, expressing that he should have been unable to assist without healing magic. Tsuyoshi and his companions discuss the past offer of healing support, with Tsuyoshi recalling the teacher's instruction not to interfere, leading to an argument over compensation. Gaia, reminding Tsuyoshi of the higher charge he should face at his rank, expresses leniency by settling for a lesser amount, his tone reflecting annoyance. Busy with other matters, Gaia answers a call from the Hero Exam Center, demanding the caller be brief, underscoring his irritation. Gaia, astounded by the news of Tsuyoshi's success, responds with disbelief considering the accomplishment nonsense. Confronted about his success, Tsuyoshi is asked directly how he managed to pass the solo test, an inquiry laced with suspicion. Accused of being only a level 4 rookie, Tsuyoshi is under scrutiny, with Gaia questioning the legitimacy of his achievements. Gaia suspects Tsuyoshi's use of high-grade items, expressing disbelief at a rookie passing the solo test, emphasizing its unprecedented nature. Tsuyoshi counters that rarity does not equate to impossibility, hinting that financial motivations perhaps influence his determination. Gaia, frustrated by Tsuyoshi's responses, demands respect as a member of the Lazy Wolf, his anger escalating. Tsuyoshi, unfazed, points out the insignificance of Gaia's guild despite his high-level status, indirectly challenging his influence. Offended, Gaia questions Tsuyoshi's audacity in insulting him, his anger now manifesting physically with a show of power. Tsuyoshi provocatively asks if Gaia intends to overpower him with his level 9 abilities, maintaining a calm demeanor amidst the tension. Gaia, facing Tsuyoshi's unexpected power and speed, finds it hard to reconcile with the notion of him being just a level 4, expressing disbelief. Tsuyoshi, caught off guard yet again by Gaia's actions, reacts in a mix of surprise and readiness, demanding a pause as the confrontation intensifies. A tense confrontation ensues as the man demands to know what Tsukishiro is hiding, brandishing a knife threateningly in the air, poised to uncover a secret. A sudden clash occurs. Tsukishiro's mysterious aura reveals a robust defense effect powered by the Dark Goblin set, signifying a change in his physique. The man is startled when his weapon unexpectedly breaks upon contact, realizing it wasn't like hitting flesh, suggesting a hidden power that confounds him. Convinced of Tsukishiro's secret, the man accuses him of concealing high-grade equipment, his curiosity piqued by what Tsukishiro might have. Tsukishiro internally frets over accidentally showcasing his ability, worried about the trouble it would cause if this world's inhabitants discovered his secret. The man's suspicion grows, speculating whether Tsukishiro found his hidden treasure in a cave or perhaps even stole it, driven by greed. Tsukishiro expresses relief after the encounter, inwardly admitting he felt scared despite managing to keep his composure outwardly. In a lighter moment, Tsukishiro comments on the encounter, reflecting that the shabby dagger was his saving grace, minimizing the danger. Tsukishiro apologizes for the delay, his demeanor showing both courtesy and an underlying tension from prior events. Tsukishiro receives official verification of his status as a hero, understanding the responsibilities it entails as another character explains the significance. Reminded of his past situation, Tsukishiro is cautioned about avoiding such reckless displays of power in front of the authority figures again. Acknowledging his advantage, Tsukishiro muses about his enhanced combat power while considering the challenges posed by high-level enemies. In a quieter moment, Tsukishiro notices attention from Gaia, puzzled by the absence of certain familiar creatures in this world, pondering his level's implications. Secretive plotting occurs as an individual instructs others on using magic to immobilize enemies, revealing their level and combat power details. Amidst the scheming, one character eagerly anticipates dividing the treasure later, displaying sinister intentions with a gleaming blade. Another warns to maintain silence to avoid attracting attention, the situation tense and fraught with the potential for detection. Instructions to dismantle chains with magic are given, indicating a precise plan underway with readiness emphasized. A fierce battle unfolds. Tsukishiro, equipped as a level 4 warrior, uses the Dark Goblin set to confront his enemies with significant force. Tsukishiro swiftly counters, his speed surprising the opponent, who acknowledges his quickness in the heat of battle. A powerful move, Heaven Shaker, is executed by Tsukishiro with determination, intent on subduing his adversary. Despite facing a level 10 mage, Tsukishiro recognizes the disparity in levels but remains aware of the challenging combat power difference. Reflecting on combat strategies, Tsukishiro calculates his odds, aware of his level's limitations against higher threats but confident in his tactics. Visualizing a stark comparison, Tsukishiro evaluates whether relying solely on equipment and skills will suffice, understanding the instant risk of failure. Preparedness aids Tsukishiro as he evades an ambush, recalling his reinforced defenses in time to thwart the attacker's plans. Engulfed in flames, Tsukishiro acknowledges his equipment's vulnerability to magic, contrasting it to simpler battles against goblins. Urgency propels Tsukishiro to escape, accepting the strategic disadvantage in direct confrontation and opting to elude pursuit. Tsukishiro channels body enhancements into his legs, intent on withstanding a jump's impact, utilizing the Dark Goblin set's benefits. Enhancements concentrate on his legs, making Tsukishiro aware of the protection limits on other body parts, crucial for his leap's success. Upon landing, Tsukishiro is surprised by an ambush, confronting a crazy wolf member, whose profession and combat power are revealed. The ambush's assailant, confident in his ploy, boasts about the unexpected presence of a third participant, challenging Tsukishiro's awareness. As he falls from above, Ryuichi declares it's a waste for someone like his opponent, enhancing his entire body before landing. Lying in a crater, he thinks about taking a direct knee strike, but recognizes his dark goblin set's defense helped reduce the damage. He slowly rises, surprised to be alive, questioning the skill used against him. How can a rookie do that to him? The opponent, filled with determination, is willing to strike back with the same intensity. His level and stats are displayed, level 4, with various skill enhancements. An explosive clash ensues with the opponent using action restriction, stopping movements temporarily. His skill manages to halt the attacker's movement completely. Frustrated, Ryuichi curses his skill being stopped, sensing the halt's disruptive effect on him. The enemy, seeing Ryuichi's valuable skills, considers splitting the loot with others by eliminating him. Relief washes over Ryuichi as he notices his ring's cooldown has ended, allowing him to use the Path of Boundless again. With newfound confidence, he attacks with force, announcing the opening of the Path of Boundless. Making a strategic retreat, Ryuichi vows to come back stronger, promising a real fight in the future. Escaping safely, he realizes the need to level up and acquire new skills. His good equipment can't substitute skill mastery. Determined, he acknowledges his fate is in his own hands, considering learning new skills seriously. Nearby, Sakura naps peacefully, thinking it's still time for sleep, indicating a serene atmosphere. Dreamily, Sakura notices the calming scent of cherry blossoms while she rests. Ryuichi feels the call to action in the form of a mushroom appearing, challenging his very manhood. Activating his ultimate physique, his muscles surge with adrenaline, boosting power and speed significantly. Ryuichi struggles with himself, deciding it's not the right moment for distractions. He needs to focus on overcoming his world's crisis first, advising himself to remain calm. Under the starry sky, he makes plans to level up and learn skills, ready to tackle upcoming challenges with clarity. Waking up refreshed, Sakura stretches, delighted she got a good night's sleep after a long while. Ryuichi, unable to find rest, awkwardly agrees he slept well too, requesting Sakura to sew him more clothing before they proceed. They discuss the need for a skill scroll to learn new abilities, pinpointing the Combat Academy as the best place for it. Walking towards the Beastman tribe's small combat academy, they prepare themselves to focus on their goals. An orc challenges Ryuichi, stating that to enroll, he must reach level 6 and pass an exam, indicating he's still at level 4. Tempted to overthrow the hassle, Ryuichi appreciates his new shirt made by a beast girl, featuring a small heart mark. Apologizing for being unprepared, Ryuichi acknowledges the need for a level up due to unexpected conditions. Sakura suggests leveling up in a nearby cave, as reaching level 6 still won't guarantee passing the exam. An orc scoffs at their pairing, calling them a mismatched duo, while Ryuichi contemplates his impact on his master. Sakura internally decides not to trouble her master, planning to explain and say goodbye when the time comes. In anger, Ryuichi confronts the orc, challenging his insult and threatening retaliation for his words. Ryuichi demands an apology for Sakura, standing his ground with a fierce and electrified presence. A beastman comments on a girl who is a hybrid of human and beast, lamenting her half-beast status as a disgrace to their kind, noting that she doesn't even have a proper name. Another character, Tsuyoshi, ponders on the girl being the descendant of a human and a beastman, explaining why her name didn't appear when used a divine eye, attributing it to her lack of a name. The beastman warns Tsuyoshi not to underestimate the beast race's interest in him, promising punishment for disrespecting a beastman warrior. The beastman mockingly suggests that he might consider apologizing to the girl if Tsuyoshi manages to pass an upcoming exam, although he's skeptical about Tsuyoshi's capabilities as a mere human. The girl, Sakura, agrees with her master, suggesting there's no need for involvement due to her circumstances. Standing confidently, Tsuyoshi reminds the beastman of Sakura's name, insisting it be remembered. Confused, Sakura asks if Sakura is the name her master has given to her. Tsuyoshi repeats his earlier condition, reminding the beastman about the apology if he succeeds. Tsuyoshi wraps an arm around Sakura and suggests they go level up together. Standing near a cliff, Tsuyoshi notes the rarity of a fox beastman and decides to head out with his companion for leveling up. Walking alongside, Sakura asks her master why he chose the name Sakura for her. Tsuyoshi casually responds that the name was given on a whim, asking if she liked it. Sakura eagerly expresses her love for the name but is curious about his origin, wondering how he came up with it. Embarrassed, Tsuyoshi explains that Sakura always carries a faint scent of cherry blossoms, thus deeming the name fitting. He apologizes for being presumptuous. Sakura expresses gratitude, deeply touched, and tells her master how much she loves the name. Tsuyoshi responds with a warm welcome, suggesting they begin their journey as they stand before a dark entrance. Inside, Tsuyoshi inquires about how well the dagger he bought fits in Sakura's hand. Observing the dagger, Tsuyoshi acknowledges it's not top-notch, but certainly stronger than a goblin's club. With confidence, Tsuyoshi swings the dagger, satisfied with its weight, likening it to lifting a feather. They encounter fox beastmen, described as quick-moving and intelligent, cautioning that underestimating them would lead to regret. Tsuyoshi instructs Sakura to stay back, wishing to gain experience without interference, and she responds with familiarity, acknowledging the call of her name. Energized, Tsuyoshi charges forward, ready to test his new dagger. Sakura warns him about the nimbleness of the fox beastmen, advising to avoid wide swings. Acknowledging their speed, Tsuyoshi swings his dagger with precision, ready for the challenge. The fox beastmen react in surprise as Tsuyoshi confidently assures them that their attacks cannot harm him. Sakura reflects on her master's defense, recognizing it as befitting someone chosen by the Iron Hammer, foreseeing quick level-ups against lower-level foes. Experiencing the agility of the foes, Tsuyoshi discovers that speed triumphs over raw strength in such battles. Contemplating the world's rapid leveling system, Tsuyoshi realizes there's no need for competition over resources that accelerate experience gain. With focus, he evaluates his speed, acknowledging the enemy's maximum combat power and the difficulty posed by their level. Realizing his numerical disadvantage, Tsuyoshi considers closing the level gap and acquiring additional skills to overcome the odds. Tsuyoshi desires to level up to 6 with Sakura. He plans to make the arrogant beastmen bow to him, intending to grow stronger together. A character wonders about acquiring a sword. The question lingers in their thoughts, contemplating the possibility of obtaining it. Tsuyoshi and Sakura find the sword's length and power fitting. He inquires if she desires it. Tsuyoshi was merely curious, questioning the drop rate of items. Sakura confirms most items do drop. Explaining drop rates, Sakura details that rarity impacts this. Efficiency varies by location, and special items can expedite the process. Tsuyoshi acknowledges the world's game-like qualities. The system structure becomes more comprehensible to him. Observing the Dark Fox Beastman, Tsuyoshi notes its combat details and sword drop rate. It's notably low. Tsuyoshi laments the difficulty in obtaining the perfect sword at level 6. Despite its suitability, the challenge is significant. An exchange system activates upon need detection. Conditions must be met to trade items among different levels and abilities. Tsuyoshi realizes there's more about the exchange system he is unaware of. Currently, a high probability drop scroll is the only available item for exchange. The high probability drop scroll increases item drop rates for a brief time. Tsuyoshi is ecstatic at meeting the condition with 114 total defeats. Tsuyoshi notes one scroll is granted per 30 enemies defeated. Interestingly, the tally crosses both worlds. Contemplating exchanging all 3 scrolls simultaneously, Tsuyoshi deduces a massive increase in drop rate to 96%. Confident, Tsuyoshi believes the sword should drop with little delay, driven by the cumulative advantages. He receives a notification regarding this successful exchange. Despite lacking inventory to store items, the accomplishment feels rewarding. Tsuyoshi is determined to secure the sword, knowing it will enhance his strength significantly. Sakura encourages him to do his best. Maintaining concentration, Tsuyoshi requests directions from Sakura to bolster his focus during the encounter. Tsuyoshi realizes the sword possesses a cold effect. This characteristic becomes evident to him. Sakura educates Tsuyoshi on the Dark Fox Beastman's attributes. She advises exploiting his weaknesses swiftly. Understanding its fear of fire, Sakura suggests applying flame oil for effectiveness. Tsuyoshi acknowledges her strategy. Tsuyoshi prepares to challenge the Beastmen, comparing their respective elemental powers. His weapon, imbued with flame, is ready for the confrontation. In an intense move, Tsuyoshi charges at the Beastman with his fiery weapon, aiming to gain the upper hand. Demanding the sword, Tsuyoshi exhibits determination in his pursuit amidst the battle's energy. Sakura highlights the Beastman's weak points at its armpits and neck, recommending targeted attacks. Attacking identified weak points alters the Beastman's status, enabling double damage, a strategic advantage for 15 seconds. Tsuyoshi finds this status effect intriguing, noting how it broadens his combat strategy. Seizing the opportunity, Tsuyoshi plans to maximize the tactical opening during the battle. Sakura advises caution while exploiting the state's vulnerabilities, ensuring Tsuyoshi finds optimal striking moments. Grateful, Tsuyoshi acknowledges Sakura's assistance, integrating it into his approach. Reflecting on the battle, Tsuyoshi credits Sakura's guidance for his survival. Her advice proved crucial. The Beast King charges forward, questioning if the battle has ended and eagerly anticipates his turn. He urges his allies to aim for the neck, ready for action. With a powerful physique, the Beast King channels 60% of his strength into his arms, amplifying his power output to formidable levels as he prepares to strike. The attack hits its target at a weak point, causing triple damage and leaving the enemy debilitated for a few seconds, a precise and calculated move. Veracrol is excited, reminding everyone to stay vigilant until the very end. Although the battle is low level with the Master, it's exhilarating. Her enthusiasm continues as Veracrol praises the Master's amazing performance, clearly thrilled by the display of skill. Sugoshi acknowledges the fight's satisfaction, realizing he almost forgot to use the scroll before its effect expires, adding a sense of urgency. He used the high-probability drop scroll, increasing the drop rate for items to 95% for a minute, demonstrating strategic thinking. Successfully gaining 3,000 experience points and the Dark Fox Beastman boss weapon, Tsuyoshi notes the rarity of obtaining such an item on the first try, feeling lucky. Reflecting on the battle, he acknowledges that even with his ultimate physique, carelessness could lead to injury. Finding a suitable weapon could enhance his strength further. As Tsuyoshi grips the Cold Light Sword, he contemplates challenging 3 foes from the Crazy Wolf, aiming to hit level 6 by the evening for both his sake and Sakura's. He asks Sakura about locations to level up quickly, eager to reach level 6 as soon as possible, showing determination in his quest. Sakura explains the use of a reset scroll, which shortens respawn time for monsters, making low-level areas like the Fox Beastman cave ideal for quick progression. She suggests taking a break and offers healing potions, noting her collection of scrolls to help reach the desired level, surprising Tsuyoshi with her foresight. Outside the cave, Sakura uses the reset scroll, successfully resetting the area, paving the way for further battles and experience gains. Tsuyoshi, holding the sword, decides he can't wait any longer, prepared to continue his progress alongside Sakura, indicating readiness. Sakura observes the power of the Black Cold Light Sword, mentioning its unique slowing effect on enemies, hinting at future discoveries of even better weapons. Discussing powerful weaponry, Tsuyoshi remembers the Divine King's hammer in the inventory, aware of his current limits with the ultimate physique. Increased mastery could lead to invincibility. Tsuyoshi, now level 5, greets unseen adversaries, boasting about defeating minions and leveling up, exuding confidence for the challenge ahead. The use of reset scrolls continues as Tsuyoshi returns to battle. Sakura wishes him luck, highlighting the strategic use of resources to maintain momentum. Fighting on, the repeated use of reset scrolls begins to feel excessive, yet necessary to maintain Tsuyoshi's progress against the persistent Fox Bastard. Tsuyoshi levels up to 6, a significant milestone, ready for the next stage of his journey with heightened power and abilities. Reflecting on the day, he notes replenishing his stamina multiple times and collecting gear, finally achieving level 6, marking a moment of triumph. Now prepared to take the trial, Tsuyoshi internally promises a swift return, his determination fueling his next steps. At the Combat Academy's entrance, unidentified voices mock Tsuyoshi's plan to take the trial after reaching level 6, doubting his capability. 2 beasts by a fire discuss his audacity, assuming a human like him would struggle on their land and speculating he may never realize his goals. Tsuyoshi interrupts, already level 6, ready to challenge their doubts with his newly gained strength and achievements. The ogres express disbelief at his rapid advancement, leveling up twice in a single day, their surprise evident. Tsuyoshi, clad in armor, commands wake up the examiner, refusing to wait, intent on defending Sakura's honor and tackling the trial immediately. The supervisor of the Warrior Academy, initially about to sleep, reacts to Tsuyoshi's trial request, warning him of the consequences for wasted time. Tsuyoshi confidently declares his eligibility to begin the trial and expresses interest in choosing a skill from the vault, the next step in his journey. 2 beastmen discuss whether reaching level 6 guarantees passing a trial. The larger beastman doubts it is sufficient. The larger beastman is shocked at the rapid progression from level 4 to 6, questioning its possibility. A human tells the smaller beastman to apologize to Sakura if he passes, relying on the beastman's honor as a warrior. The larger beastman, intrigued, agrees to the trial but finds the notion of a human passing amusing. A priest commander explains that strength is crucial to pass, inviting the human to start the Beastman Combat Academy trial. The trial involves cracking a stone slab with a single punch, as the commander describes its simplicity. The human and Sakura express disbelief at the requirement to crack the stone, thinking it's straightforward. The smaller beastman reveals that a special outer stone will be used, anticipating the human's struggle. Confidently, the larger beastman explains it's simple for beastmen and offers a demonstration. The smaller beastman reveals that even creatures below level 10 can't scratch the outer stone with disdain for humans. The larger beastman unleashes his power to demonstrate the effort required even at his level 20. The larger beastman wipes his forehead, challenging the human to give it a try after showing its simplicity. The human and Sakura prepare for the trial, with Sakura encouraging him to perform his best. The human prepares his ultimate physique to amplify his strength, ready to surpass expectations. The human's ultimate physique shows that 50% of his power is concentrated in his right arm. The larger beastman remarks that the task is effortless for beastman, doubting the human's capability. He continues, not believing the human can even scratch the stone, let alone crack it. The human casually comments about possibly using too much force, surprised it wasn't harder. Sakura expresses her excitement, acknowledging that now the human can access the skill vault. Two beastmen are in disbelief, questioning how the human shattered the stone in a single blow. The human seeks confirmation if this counts as passing the trial, while the beastman remains stunned. The larger beastman hesitates, claiming the crack came from his earlier demonstration, deeming the attempt a failure. Confused, the human asks what the plan is for the trial now, awaiting further instruction. The larger beastman concedes, introducing the next test, bending an iron bar. The test involves bending a tough iron bar, usually requiring great strength from beastman warriors. The human effortlessly bends the bar, startling the larger beastman, who insists the bar isn't for testing. With no choice left, the beastman introduces arm wrestling against the strongest beastman warrior. The human swiftly defeats the warrior, relying on 70% of his power concentrated in his right arm, shocking the spectators. The human reminds them he's completed 3 trials, questioning if he passes this time. Reluctantly, the beastman acknowledges victory, labeling him a terrifying human. Tsukishiro tells the girl she needs to apologize to Sakura as promised, indicating a sense of responsibility and resolution in the air. The beastman warrior reluctantly agrees, acknowledging his duty to keep his word. Bowing deeply, the beastman offers an earnest apology for his previous actions, expressing regret. Sakura confesses to feeling unexpected treatment, implying she thought such behavior was standard. She reassures the beastman not to worry further. Tsukishiro advises Sakura to accept the apology with pride, reinforcing the importance of justice and resolution. Sakura responds obediently, affirming her compliance with Tsukishiro's guidance. With a firm stance, Sakura accepts the apology, signaling the end of the dispute. At the entrance of a majestic tower, a rule states that only 1 skill scroll can be taken per visit. Tsukishiro seems puzzled by the limitation, questioning the Combat Academy's strict regulations. Further rules about time limits and seals are explained, with expulsion as a consequence of failure. The Academy's Sentinel shares more about the academic region's magical seals and barriers, emphasizing protection and permissions. Tsukishiro appears contemplative about the complexity of the situation, while Sakura notes stricter conditions in higher academies. Entering the vault, they are warned against stealing, as immediate expulsion would follow any such attempt. The countdown begins. A strict 3 minutes is all Tsukishiro has to choose a skill scroll. Sakura is in awe at the vault's magical defense system, reflecting on the need for such protection. Tsukishiro decides to remove his outer gear, finding greater comfort in his simple attire. Though unfamiliar with the vault, Sakura ponders over the potential of breaking the seals, suggesting her strength and curiosity. Tsukishiro considers using a duplication skill, but struggles to find a suitable skill scroll. He acknowledges the possible awkwardness of using duplication on Sakura, visualizing the sharing of senses. Determined, Tsukishiro focuses on the task at hand, choosing a skill potent enough to counter future challenges. The information of a particular skill, Shield Slam, appears, though Tsukishiro assesses its relevance. Dismissing the use of Shield Slam, Tsukishiro informs Sakura he has something else to show her. Surprise hits Tsukishiro as an archer skill scroll catches his eye, yet he knows it doesn't suit him. Sakura explains the commonality of the War Cry skill among warriors, but it's swiftly discarded as a choice. With time running short, Tsukishiro hesitates over Multishot, seeking a counterattack skill instead. Discovering a counterattack scroll, Tsukishiro considers its potential utility and keeps it as an option. Rousing through seemingly unsuitable skills, Sakura notes the lack of compatibility for Tsukishiro, fueling his urgency. Sweat forms as Tsukishiro anxiously observes the dwindling countdown, recognizing inefficiency in his search method. Preparing for the final attempt, Tsukishiro requests Sakura to find cover and verify her supplies. Suddenly, a crackling surge envelops the tower, leaving a dramatic, mysterious air as chaos looms. The protagonist is engulfed in lightning, determined to break all the seals at once. Energy crackles around him as he prepares for the task ahead. Sakura appears, admitting to being overwhelmed by the master's intensity, observing the situation from a short distance. A notification warns the protagonist that he cannot fully unleash the power of the Divine King's hammer due to his level, as the release will consume a vast amount of energy in just 1 second. A male character observing the protagonist is astonished and questions whether the displayed power is truly human. Sakura, witnessing the terrifying presence, reflects that she wouldn't have believed it if she hadn't seen it herself. Another notification confirms the activation of the Divine King's hammer for 1 second as the protagonist reiterates his plan to break all the seals at once. Sakura notices the immediate result. The seals on all the skill scrolls have broken in an instant. The protagonist kneels amidst the last remnants of lightning as the notification confirms the deactivation of the Divine King's hammer, with 50 seconds remaining. Intense information floods into the protagonist as he begins to absorb details from the scrolls, with his eye glowing from the sheer volume of data. Sakura realizes the influx of information is distorting space. She warns her master that receiving all this information could overwhelm his brain. The protagonist is in agony, feeling like his head is splitting, but manages to catch a glimpse of everything, urging for the strongest skill that suits him best. With 40 seconds remaining, he acknowledges the inadequacy of the skills, demanding a stronger one for more power. A particular scroll catches his attention, crackling with lightning, piquing his interest further. Sakura urgently informs her master that they are running out of time as the countdown continues. The protagonist narrows his choice, identifying the scroll he wants, and instructs Sakura to retrieve it from the specific location in the shelf. Sakura dashes to the indicated shelf, third from the back, eyeing what the protagonist requested, acknowledging they have only 20 seconds left. Reaching the item, Sakura is taken aback, discovering it to be a fragmented scroll, and questions whether there has been a mistake. The fragmented scroll is described as incomplete, with powers greatly diminished and requiring other fragments to be fully realized. As she rushes back with the scroll, Sakura questions the protagonist's certainty about using a fragmented scroll under such circumstances. Despite only having 10 seconds left, the urgency of the situation forces them to move quickly and leave. The protagonist insists he can manage more as he carries Sakura out, a notification highlighting the strain on his body from the skill being utilized. Outside, a male character observes that with only 5 seconds left, whether or not the protagonist finds the scroll, he'll be expelled from the area when the time is up. Just before the time runs out, the protagonist confirms completion, carrying Sakura to safety right on time. The male character notes the protagonist's choice of a fragmented scroll, expressing some level of disbelief or disapproval. He explains that the scroll's power relates to channeling a powerful electric current used for damage or support among warriors and mages. Recalling his predecessor's accounts, the male character notes that over the last 1,000 years, very few have dared to study such a fragmented skill. He recounts the history of failed attempts, where past beastmen trying to learn the skill faced grotesque consequences due to lack of control. The protagonist reflects with Sakura, pondering the futility of striving for fragments only to face ruin, wondering if anyone mastered the skill. The male character quietly suggests that there was indeed one person who succeeded, breaking the silence. A flashback highlights a legendary beastman king referred to as the Divine King, said to have wielded the Divine King's hammer, the only skill left behind by those divine rulers. General Rita is irritated, questioning why such a valuable skill linked to the Divine King's hammer is stored with trash. A male character wonders if it's a joke. As General Rita contemplates the power of a skill left by the Divine King, he reflects on its futility if unused, comparing it to a weapon without a worthy wielder. The skill, untouched for a millennium, still exists, akin to the lost glory of the beastman. The male character is hopeful, suggesting the skill might suit him and urging Sakura to proceed together. She agrees, silently anticipating what's next. General Rita informs them that the visible fragment is only a starting point, emphasizing that mastering the skill depends on their own strength and luck. Sakura recalls the half-beast's supposed execution, pondering its implications quietly. Rita confronts Sakura, accusing her of misleading the beastman and questioning her intentions towards the human, suspecting a possible sacrifice. Sakura remains unfazed, stating that the issue is not Rita's concern and dismisses it without further explanation. As dawn breaks, Rita decides to watch and observe how far Sakura and the male character can go, predicting an unpredictable journey. Inside the inn, the male character acknowledges Sakura's healing potion's effectiveness, albeit criticizing its taste while feeling fully recovered. He wonders aloud how Sakura concocted such a dreadful-tasting potion, coughing slightly from the aftertaste. The male character notices Sakura's odd behavior since her return and expresses concern for her well-being. Sakura, slightly weary, simply attributes her unusual demeanor to being tired and offers no further details. The male character hesitates but voices his curiosity about Sakura's past, hoping for insight. He brings up Sakura's near execution, speculating whether her background played a role in that grim event. Reflecting on his own fate, he muses about his position as next in line for execution, contemplating his past. Sakura dismisses the dark subject, urging a change of topic and inquiring if her companion has reviewed the remaining scroll. Confirming he memorized it, the male character reflects on the old beastman's cryptic words, feeling the thunder chain skill perfectly matches his strong physique. Excitedly, he anticipates the potential of the scrolls when united and suggests they set forth immediately. Sakura, energizing herself, agrees, observing the day's beauty and seeing it as an opportunity for their master to advance. The male character acknowledges her observation but insists on first completing an essential task, noting the Boundless Ring's cooldown has ended. With the Boundless Passage activated, he feels prepared to confront 3 adversaries, having understood the skill's application. He recalls vowing vengeance against them, determined to fulfill his promise now that his capabilities have increased. Before engaging, he strategizes to disrupt his foe's formation, positioning himself adeptly for combat. Charging into battle, he employs his new skills, directing strength through a vibrant punch to destabilize his enemy's stance. Counting on his skill, he wields the black freezing flash sword, ready to exploit the available slots for further enhancement. His opponent is shocked as he retrieves the sword, a highly coveted dimensional item, while another adversary plots to seize it. Amidst the chaos, a foe commands an attack to eliminate him first, hoping to divide the spoils later. Confidently, he reminds them that they initiated the conflict, hinting at his readiness to counter their aggression. As he channels an intense aura, his adversaries realize with shock that they are facing a formidable warrior. Stunned and unable to move, they wonder how he can wield such powerful magic, with the oppressive aura rendering them paralyzed. The paralyzed man realizes they underestimated the enemy, who is stronger than before. He acknowledges the growing danger and thinks about escaping. Another person stands paralyzed and admits surrender, overwhelmed by the newfound power of their opponent. They are taken aback by the unexpected turn of events and feel trapped. Tsuyoshi asserts himself with a cold demeanor, expressing no forgiveness towards those who try to harm him. He dismisses their actions as laughable, demonstrating his resolve and determination to face them. A member of the Crazy Wolf, paralyzed, desperately tries to remind Tsuyoshi of their group's reputation. His plea is ignored, feeling the weight of his enemy's merciless intentions growing heavier. The earlier paralyzed man continues to panic, realizing that Tsuyoshi's lack of mercy is due to understanding the threat they pose if allowed to escape. He feels cornered by this relentless pursuit. Tsuyoshi looms over his opponent, making it clear that they are next in line. The person defiantly challenges Tsuyoshi, displaying a willingness to fight despite the inevitable outcome. A valuable adhesive blast fruit is introduced, known for causing significant destruction when used. Its power and rarity make it a prized possession among fighters. The man, now wielding a dangerous weapon, claims the adhesive blast fruit to be a worthy investment. He boasts about its potential damage, emphasizing its enhanced power for someone of his level. An explosion erupts, with the attacker claiming superiority over anyone who dares to challenge them. The confidence is evident in their belief that opponents are too inexperienced to stand a chance. Despite the explosion, Tsuyoshi remains resilient due to his peak physique and special gear. He acknowledges that these elements are the only things keeping him alive amidst the devastation. Tsuyoshi prepares to finish off his adversaries, fueled by the energy coursing through him. His determination to eliminate the remaining threats is unwavering. Tsuyoshi questions the safety of letting his enemies go, suggesting that allowing them to escape would only invite further danger. His stance remains firm and unyielding amidst the swirling mist. Lamenting the escalation of events, Tsuyoshi reflects on his current level, attributing the chaos to his membership with the Crazy Wolf. He sees it as a consequence of his yet unrealized potential. Observing the rubble, Tsuyoshi contemplates the harsh reality of the world where the weak are consumed by the strong. He reflects on the state of society and its unforgiving nature. Among the debris, Tsuyoshi finds a dimensional ring. He is intrigued by the unexpected discovery and considers the potential uses for such an item. With excitement, Tsuyoshi confirms the authenticity of the dimensional ring. Noting its value, he recalls how it can store various items and decides to put it to the test. Holding the dimensional ring, Tsuyoshi acknowledges its rarity, especially for someone of his status. He decides to try using it, eager to explore its capabilities. The dimensional ring activates, synchronizing with Tsuyoshi's mana. He is surprised by its newness and marvels at the ease of the activation process. Accepting his newfound possession, Tsuyoshi is pragmatic about the turn of events. He appreciates the loot obtained and considers the circumstances that led him here. Observing the arrival of the hero's security forces, Tsuyoshi feels relieved for having left the scene early. He is thankful for not getting caught in the aftermath of his confrontation. Tsuyoshi is satisfied with erasing any trace of his presence. Confident that he took everything valuable, he remains assured that the security forces will find no clues leading to him. Feeling safe, Tsuyoshi admires the new smartphone from Gaia. He expresses satisfaction in binding it to his information, making it securely his own. A sudden ringtone disturbs Tsuyoshi, who is annoyed and curious about the timing of the call. He wonders about the caller's urgency. Tsuyoshi answers the call from his homeroom teacher, Lily-sensei, and is reminded of his missed attendance. He apologizes, aware of the implications of his absence. Lily understands Tsuyoshi's situation and insists that he attend school despite financial difficulties. She expresses concern for his well-being and wants him to continue for his sister's sake. Tsuyoshi admits the issue is more than financial. He struggles with his dislike for the school environment. The mention of bullying reflects the challenges he faces there. Lily encourages Tsuyoshi to continue his studies, hinting at the positive changes it could bring to his life. She attempts to inspire hope in him, knowing the importance of education. She urges Tsuyoshi to reconsider being just a cleaner. Lily emphasizes the importance of setting goals for himself and his sister, encouraging him to return to school. Tsuyoshi reflects on the fact that his sister is unaware of his hero status. He acknowledges her constant concern for him and feels the weight of keeping his new path a secret. Lily pleads with Tsuyoshi to remain strong and face his challenges, offering her support. She assures him of his capability to overcome obstacles for himself and his sister, reinforcing his resolve. Tsuyoshi reflects on his reluctance to attend school, acknowledging unpleasant memories but realizing it's worth it after talking to Lily-sensei. Feeling empowered as a hero, Tsuyoshi vows to make bullies pay and thanks Lily-sensei, resolving to go to school tomorrow. In a dim room, a figure reports that 3 people were killed by an unknown hero and their items were stolen. The figure laments the theft of a dimensional ring they had entrusted to the victims. The figure accuses the thief of not realizing tracking magic was cast on the stolen ring. Confidently stating that they already know the thief's location, the figure looks at a glowing holographic map. A muscular man, the leader of the Crazy Wolf, vows not to let the thief live after stealing from him. The leader demands that his subordinates bring the thief to him, receiving a prompt agreement. The next morning, the scene shifts to a pair of feet walking together, indicating a calm moment. Tsuyoshi asks Karina about her braces, to which she reassures him it's fine as long as she walks slowly. Reflecting on her insistence to accompany him, Tsuyoshi recalls Karina's determination not to be a burden. He thinks about the challenges Karina faces and feels glad for getting her newly developed braces. Tsuyoshi reflects on his financial exhaustion after buying the braces, but feels hopeful about future opportunities as a hero. Seeing Karina's content expression makes Tsuyoshi feel that all of his efforts were worthwhile. He advises her to take things slowly and promises to pick her up after school, ensuring her safety. A pair of students discuss Karina's condition and the incident that left her injured, noting her perseverance. They express surprise at her misfortune, acknowledging that the situation was covered extensively by the news. One of the students expresses annoyance over the attention Karina receives, questioning the value of it. Concern about the repercussions of bullying Karina is voiced, with one student cautioning against further harassment. Unmoved by the concern, the other student downplays Karina's disability and hints at having a new scheme in mind. As they leave, one student casually mentions plans to meet a boyfriend, showing indifference to the previous conversation. A sign for the vice headmaster's office appears, followed by Tsuyoshi being reminded to thank Lily-sensei. The vice headmaster stresses the importance of student care, while Lily-sensei defends Tsuyoshi, acknowledging his circumstances. Tsuyoshi expresses gratitude to both the vice headmaster and Lily-sensei for their support. The vice headmaster reveals an ulterior interest in Lily-sensei, dismissing concern for the students. Walking together, Lily-sensei reassures Tsuyoshi about covering Karina's tuition fees, easing his financial worries. Lily-sensei advises Tsuyoshi to focus on his studies for now, promising to discuss financial arrangements later. She expresses happiness over Tsuyoshi's newfound brightness, noticing a positive change in him. Responding, Tsuyoshi mentions his efforts to meet expectations, determined to live up to them. Internally, Tsuyoshi vows to reveal more about himself as a hero and resolve lingering issues with the Crazy Wolf, seeking to prove he's changed. A butterfly rests on a school window as the teacher urges students to hurry to their art class, emphasizing the importance of being on time. Rayleigh, relaxed and sitting back, comments on Tsuyoshi's unexpected return to school, despite the previous trouble that apparently got him expelled. His classmates suggest they corner Tsuyoshi in the toilet after class, implying there's more to their plan with Rayleigh's involvement. An understanding is reached about the importance of confronting Tsuyoshi, motivated by missing money that was supposed to be a protection fee. Rayleigh scoffs at sympathies and challenges others to consider his needs as he plans to confront Tsuyoshi, with support from his friend affirming this decision. Tsuyoshi is reminded of past altercations as he's hit by a paper ball, signaling an impending confrontation from behind. Despite the physical altercation, Tsuyoshi calmly tells Rayleigh to meet him in the toilet later, signaling an unspoken challenge. Rayleigh dismisses Tsuyoshi's invitation, considering it a mocking challenge, and is eager to respond with violence due to past issues. A friend of Rayleigh warns others that the toilet is occupied, keeping others away, hinting at the planned encounter with Tsuyoshi. In the toilet, Rayleigh mocks Tsuyoshi for his supposed low status after leaving school, mentioning a rumor about him picking up garbage. Rayleigh demands Tsuyoshi hand over money for the protection fee, threatening consequences if he refuses his demand in a menacing way. Tsuyoshi questions Rayleigh's threat calmly, showing no signs of backing down despite the tension in the air. Rayleigh, accompanied by his friends, loses patience and is ready to fight Tsuyoshi, verbalizing his frustration and intent to assert dominance. In response to Rayleigh's aggression, Tsuyoshi counters physically, displaying unexpected strength that surprises everyone witnessing it. Observers are shocked by Tsuyoshi's power, noting how quickly he has changed and wondering how he lost his previous fears. Tsuyoshi reflects on his past, realizing he's gained courage and strength now different from his former self. His skills and combat power illustrate his drastic transformation. The Divine Eye ability reveals his adversary's lack of combat power, minimizing them as non-threats, giving him a superior edge. Rayleigh sees his companions fallen at his feet, bewildered by the sudden turn of events and Tsuyoshi's unexpected dominance. Suddenly overwhelmed, Rayleigh recalls Tsuyoshi's weaker days, confused by how quickly the tides have turned in this confrontation. Tsuyoshi stands over Rayleigh with a changed and ominous presence, making Rayleigh feel as if he's facing an entirely different person now. A warning about the approaching authority triggers fear, prompting Rayleigh and his friends to consider fleeing from the situation to avoid further conflict. As Rayleigh and his group begin to retreat, Tsuyoshi's intense gaze follows them, noting that the confrontation wasn't as forceful as it could have been. Tsuyoshi contemplates his choice to hold back during the encounter, relieved he didn't resort to his full strength, which could have had more severe consequences. Later, Tsuyoshi apologizes to Haru-chan for causing more trouble, but she reassures him, offering her help if needed, indicating a supportive friendship. Haru-chan and a friend exchange a notebook, highlighting their close connection and shared responsibilities or secrets within it. An aggressive woman pushes past, stating her intention to confront Haru-chan, implying an unresolved issue between them. Mina is reprimanded and threatened by the woman who warns her of the consequences, indicating power dynamics in their relationship. The woman confronts Mina about her absence from school and demands compensation for the inconvenience of not having her assistance. Faced with pressure, Mina confesses her lack of money, visibly distressed about the situation and the demands placed on her. The woman coldly suggests that Mina should sell her belongings to raise the money, intensifying the situation and leaving Mina with difficult choices. Karina sits thoughtfully, reflecting on her leg braces, which mean a lot to her since her big brother went to great lengths to get them for her. A female student observes that the braces are essential for Karina, implying she can't walk without them. A teacher stands at the front of the class, instructing everyone to return to their seats as the class is about to start. A female student tells Karina not to rush home after school, indicating their conversation is unfinished. Karina internally resolves to leave as soon as class ends, determined to avoid Mina and her group by taking a different route. She eagerly awaits meeting her big brother. The panel focuses on Tsuyoshi's classroom door. A hand gently closes a book as the lesson comes to an end, while advising everyone to be careful on their way back home. The class stands, expressing gratitude for the lesson provided. A teacher engages with Tsuyoshi, asking for a brief moment of his time. The teacher inquires if Tsuyoshi is adjusting to school after some absence. The teacher wonders aloud if there's anything she can do to assist Tsuyoshi today. Tsuyoshi responds politely, indicating he's fine and appreciative of the teacher's concern. The teacher expresses relief at Tsuyoshi's reassurance, urging him to speak up if he faces any bullying. Tsuyoshi assures the teacher once more that he is genuinely okay. The teacher expresses her happiness over Tsuyoshi's return and again offers support, advising him to head home. Another student approaches Tsuyoshi awkwardly, seeking to apologize for a previous incident in the restroom and suggesting they talk somewhere else. Tsuyoshi asks about the location for their discussion, and the student directs him to follow. As they walk, the student insists on discussing the matter elsewhere, away from prying eyes. Leading Tsuyoshi down a hallway, the student beckons him further, saying it's just up ahead. Once isolated, the student encourages Rayleigh to not overdo it, hinting at a brewing conflict. Tsuyoshi suddenly finds himself in a fight, skillfully handling the situation, surprising his opponents. The student's shock is evident as he watches Tsuyoshi effortlessly deflect their attack. Tsuyoshi calmly acknowledges the other's deceitful intentions, revealing he didn't expect them to stoop so low. He calmly points out their failure to learn their lesson, implying a deeper disappointment in their actions. A male student, angered and desperate, brandishes a weapon while threatening Tsuyoshi and blaming the school environment. Tsuyoshi stands unfazed, reminding them of the potential consequences they face if not for the school's protection. The aggressive student realizes with growing fear that he can't even move his hands against Tsuyoshi. Tsuyoshi's presence is so intimidating that the student questions his own fear of Tsuyoshi, who urges him to calm down. Tsuyoshi, having dealt with the situation, mentions he needs to fetch his sister, his obligations protected by the hero's law. As a final note, Tsuyoshi reflects on the responsibility that comes with his power, emphasizing that a hero should never harm the innocent. The hallway towards the back gate feels daunting as Karina takes shaky steps, her breaths coming out in nervous gasps, focusing only on putting one foot in front of the other. She hurries, driven by a sense of urgency, determined to reach the back gate while plotting her path forward, thinking how she'll head towards the front once she's outside. Karina knows that she needs to stay calm as she looks down the stairwell, feeling anxious. She reminds herself to go slowly, step by step, to avoid falling. Two girls watch her stumble, mocking her attempt to sneak away. One of them smugly points out that they knew she'd come this way, indicating they're blocking her path. The taller girl demands that Karina take off her leg braces, her voice carrying a tone that leaves little room for defiance. On the ground, Karina pleads with them, desperately asking them not to take away her braces, struggling to maintain her composure in this vulnerable moment. The bullying persists, with the girl towering over Karina, making it clear that escaping won't be easy without the braces. Their intentions are cruelly transparent. Meanwhile, at the front gate, Tsuyoshi looks for Karina, having learned she isn't in class, yet feeling perplexed about her whereabouts. Tsuyoshi, looking around, calls out for attention, trying to gather information on Karina's location. A girl approaches Tsuyoshi, recognizing him as Karina's brother, and asks if he knows where she is, as they had made plans to head home together. Haru, with some concern, suggests that Karina might be at the back gate, nudging Tsuyoshi to go and check for himself. Tsuyoshi processes the information while the thought of Karina being at the back gate resonates with him, prompting immediate action. Walking briskly, Tsuyoshi's mind races with worry about Karina, suspecting that something unexpected must have happened. He reflects on Haru's nervousness, interpreting it as fear, which only heightens his own anxiety about Karina's safety. Determined, he reassures himself of the necessity to find Karina, feeling the urgency in every step he takes. Tsuyoshi eyes the stairs he needs to descend to reach the back gate, the same ones Karina had to navigate, and quickens his pace. Halting briefly, he questions internally if Karina would really be at this spot, his intuition urging him down regardless. Spotting Karina on the ground, he rushes over, and she addresses him with surprise and vulnerability, wondering why he's there. Tsuyoshi's unique ability activates as he scans Karina, analyzing her injuries, comprehending that she took a painful fall and it's not her fault. Approaching her with empathy, he remarks that falling must have hurt, understanding more than his words let on. Karina, feeling ashamed, admits her limitations with the walking stick, apologizing for what she perceives as incompetence. Tsuyoshi reassures her, avoiding making her feel burdensome, though she struggles to accept help, lamenting her broken walking stick. With warmth, Tsuyoshi reminds her of family ties, emphasizing there's no such thing as a burden between them, even here in this difficult moment. Concerned, he checks on her leg braces, asking if they're in good condition given the circumstances. With relief, Tsuyoshi confirms to Karina that her braces remain intact, providing a moment of comfort despite the chaos. Glad to hear the braces are fine, Karina feels a weight lift off her shoulders, ready to leave this ordeal behind. As Tsuyoshi carries her on his back, he invokes a memory, asking if she recalls a time from their past shared experience. Karina, resting gently against him, acknowledges the memory, reflecting on how she's grown since then. He smiles nostalgically, noting how a lot of time has passed since the incident they both remember. Karina humorously counters, saying it feels just like yesterday, cherishing the unbroken bond they shared ever since. Tsuyoshi reflects on his past desire for strength to protect someone dear. He recalls feeling powerless in a critical moment, but vows never to experience that again, now considering himself a hero who can offer protection. Lily, injured and weary, admits that she tries her best not to become a burden. She acknowledges Tsuyoshi's consistent efforts, hinting at her mixed feelings about leaning on him. As Tsuyoshi takes his leave, he reassures Lily that family means everything, promising his return shortly. He instructs Lily to wait as he prepares to depart, hinting at tasks he needs to handle. Lily questions Tsuyoshi's sudden departure, suspecting he has forgotten something important. His silhouette indicates the urgency of his task as he briskly walks away. A classroom door sign is visible. Echoes of laughter fill the hallway, mocking Lily's attempts to protect her legs with sinister intentions revealed. A group discusses the nuisance of not yet acquiring those things from Lily, hinting at plans to profit from them. The tone is casual, but the intent is malicious. Billy, noted as Mena's boyfriend from class 3 to 6, questions the value of their potential loot. The implication is a plan to acquire Lily's belongings by the next day. A blonde girl voices concern about Tsuyoshi's return to school, mentioning his past expulsion and subsequent transformation into a hero. The question lingers whether this development poses any threat. A smirking girl dismisses any concern, referring to Tsuyoshi derogatorily and contrasting his status with Lily. She seems more embarrassed about sharing the school than worried about consequences. Recollections about Karina, Lily's past popularity, emerge, noting her broken legs and the numerous boys who admired her. Her past charm is fondly remembered by some classmates. Excitement grows among the onlookers to witness the present version of Karina, despite the changes she has endured. A girl questions the propriety of discussing another in front of her. Her tone indicates annoyance, possibly feeling slighted by the admiration expressed by a male classmate. Billy tries to mitigate his comments' impact, suggesting that his words held no real meaning. His physicality adds a subtle tension to the scene. Billy proposes a playful night for the group post-robbery, banking on the profits from selling Lily's braces. His manner is both suggestive and confident. Unbeknownst to them, Tsuyoshi stands nearby, absorbing the disparaging remarks about Karina. The casual cruelty does not go unnoticed by him. The atmosphere shifts as Billy demands to know who dares to intrude upon their conversation, his arrogance still apparent despite the unexpected interruption. Tsuyoshi accuses Billy's group of harming Karina under the pretense of her fall being an accident. The confrontation promises tension and potential retaliation. The group registers shock upon realizing Tsuyoshi's identity. They mockingly question his intent for revenge, unconcerned about his presence. Billy derogatorily recalls Tsuyoshi's reputation as the garbage man, his tone taunting and dismissive of the perceived threat. Billy belittles Tsuyoshi's awareness, sarcastically acknowledging his own notorious reputation as Billy the Great, all while underplaying the situation with Lily. Tsuyoshi reflects aloud on the group's decision to push Karina down the stairs. His tone carries an edge of accusation that challenges their narrative. Billy's bravado escalates as he taunts Tsuyoshi, dismissing any grievances and mockingly questioning if Tsuyoshi's approach was apologetic. The group underestimates Tsuyoshi, believing it simple to enlighten him on his true situation, their underhanded confidence showing no signs of wavering. Billy's arrogance piques his disdain for Tsuyoshi's perceived lolliness, clearly agitating him as he mocks Tsuyoshi's interference. Suddenly, Billy screams about his injured finger, rage and disbelief evident in his voice as he curses at Tsuyoshi, feeling wronged by his assertive response. The girls in the group react to the sudden violence, confusion, and shock clouding their faces as they fail to grasp the developing situation. Tsuyoshi declares that it's not only Billy who needs to worry, implying a broader reckoning for the entire group. His resolve radiates through his retreating figure. Tsuyoshi refuses to let anyone escape responsibility. He gears up, displaying his level and warrior class information, emphasizing his readiness for battle. The group's status displays as non-combatants, indicating their lack of threat to Tsuyoshi. His decisive approach underscores their helplessness against an undoubtedly skilled opponent. Amidst rising tension, a girl in the group desperately questions Tsuyoshi's intentions, fear apparent as she struggles to comprehend the evolving confrontation. Tsuyoshi remarks on the appearance of someone who seemed heroic but now appears to be picking fights for no reason. A man, possibly Billy, is in distress, grabbing his fingers, with a woman asking if he's okay and mentioning his father. A woman eating a lollipop identifies Tsuyoshi and comments on his bravery in coming alone, mentioning Karina. The woman asserts that her group may not be heroes, but they are not to be underestimated or angered. She questions whether Tsuyoshi thought he wouldn't hit a woman as she is thrown violently. Another woman, Vivian, is called out for her incredible speed, surprising those around her. Confusion arises as Billy questions what is happening around him, clearly unsettled. Billy nervously repeats himself, demanding attention and clarification on the situation. Tsuyoshi dismisses the women in the room, stating he doesn't see them as women in the typical sense. Tsuyoshi reflects on the situation, accusing those present of initiating trouble with Karina. He demands serious attention, mentioning his unwillingness to forgive the harm caused to Karina. Tsuyoshi instructs the others to stay away from Karina, not requiring an apology but insisting on distance. A strong warning follows where Tsuyoshi threatens severe consequences if his command is ignored. He addresses a male figure, questioning if he is the boyfriend of the girl involved. The implication of wanting to continue bullying Karina is questioned, pointing out the futility of such actions. Tsuyoshi expresses nausea at the thought of their arrogance, suggesting he could have easily defeated them if heroic. Billy shouts out his lineage, boasting about his father's status within a notorious gang. The mention of the Blue Snake Gang surprises Tsuyoshi, who recalls previous interactions with them. The gang is remembered as those who were involved in issues concerning Karina's medical bills. Tsuyoshi finds the situation amusing, pointing out how often people clash with those they dislike. A realization strikes Tsuyoshi about the involvement of the Blue Snake Gang. The revelation of Tsuyoshi being a hero shocks a nearby man who hadn't realized his true status. Anubis reveals the limitations of not using a proper weapon, impacting the force of damage. Tsuyoshi determines that the displayed amount of pain should serve as enough of a deterrent. He warns that this is their first and final opportunity to adhere to their promise. Tsuyoshi adds that the classroom will need cleaning, leaving them with that responsibility. As Tsuyoshi leaves, Billy's companion suggests seeing a doctor, but Billy insists he just needs some rest. The woman is worried about retribution, urging Billy to tell his father about the incident. Defiantly, Billy retorts, asserting his own plan for retribution against Tsuyoshi. Billy is determined to make Tsuyoshi pay, focusing on his father's involvement in the plan. A woman in a disheveled state agrees with resolve to confront a man who wronged her and promises to reveal his identity to someone she trusts to handle the situation. In a deserted classroom, a young girl vows to consult her father, expressing a fierce intent to eradicate the one who offended them along with his sister. A girl sits outside, visually concerned and hopes for her brother's well-being, clearly worried about his current state. She reflects on her dependency on him, wishing she could manage her troubles alone and stop adding to his burden, acknowledging the weight of his new responsibilities as a hero. Startled, she is addressed by name Karina, as someone approaches, catching her off guard. Reassured, Karina hears an apology from a young man for making her wait and suggests they head home. He offers Karina a piggyback ride and volunteers to carry their bags, intending to ease her stress. As he shoulders Karina, his thoughts drift to the potential threat from someone who might retaliate given his connections and influence. He fears for her safety and remains vigilant. Determined, he tells Karina it's time to return to the other world, vowing to protect her from any harm going forward. In the other world, a majestic scene unfolds as a master arrives at a new location, guided by the trustworthy advice of a companion. An adventurer explains the necessary steps to embark on a quest, emphasizing enrollment at the local adventurers guild and the amenities available in town. Eagerly, a man looks forward to gaining warfare experience, welcoming the opportunity as though it were an entertaining game. They arrive at the city of Beastman Northern, ready to explore its numerous offerings and adventures. Fascinated by the diverse Beastman tribes, he acknowledges the city's unique cultural makeup, eager to learn more. Observing the rare tribal presences, the adventurer points out that each tribe specializes in different skills, sparking curiosity and excitement. Curious about human adventurers, a character questions if they parallel those from another world and notes essential rules for survival. Despite the prevalence of beastmen, certain tribes remain relatively rare and notable, warranting interest from onlookers new to this dynamic environment. As they approach strangers, a warning from a companion advises caution, hinting at potential dangers in sudden interactions. Encountering two enigmatic figures with concealed intentions, he is advised to maintain distance, highlighting tension and mistrust. Reflecting on the encounter, he questions whether specific greeting rules exist, contemplating his earlier approach. His companion steps in to explain that the situation is simply a misunderstanding, aiming to diffuse any rising hostility. The adventurer advises against engaging unnecessarily with locals as it breeds wariness, particularly in a city where human intentions are scrutinized. Realizing that whispers surround them, both characters acknowledge the attention they attract and ponder its cause. The half-beastman companion attributes this to being a hybrid, affecting how beastmen perceive them, thus urging them to focus on their quest. Acknowledging existing discrimination, the man encourages moving forward, unbothered by others' biases. Observing a quest board, the adventurer highlights the necessity of formal registration before undertaking tasks. They approach a registration counter, intent on becoming official adventurers and ready for the challenges ahead. The registrar notes the unusual pairing of a half-beast and a human, deeming it an interesting team composition. With a relaxed demeanor, the registrar inquires which one intends to proceed with the registration, prompting action. The man responds confidently, acknowledging her distinct demeanor compared to those who observed them earlier, ready to stand out. The adventurer reflects on their extensive experience with newcomers, emphasizing that they've seen countless adventurers and encourages to write down their name and class on the document, which will be shared with the guild branches. These adventurers are filling out information on an official document, highlighting that the crucial aspect is the registration process, without which they can't receive a badge. An adventurer's badge is explained as the identification for adventurers, starting at the lowest rank, iron, and the importance of gaining experience to improve merit and rewards is mentioned. The rank hierarchy of adventurer badges is detailed, escalating from iron to gold. Few reach gold, taking high-level quests from the guild. Upon receiving a badge, an adventurer's level is automatically determined. They have the option to conceal their level using their badge. One adventurer finds it amazing to learn how the badge system works, seeing the level displayed. Through mental concentration, adventurers link to their badge, allowing them to hide their level. A method must be remembered to execute this thinking process. The adventurer demonstrates lowering their level to 0 effortlessly, due to the divine selection system making this process simple. The method for level manipulation is highlighted as something that usually challenges newcomers, yet was easily done on the first attempt. Tension rises as an orc demands everyone to move aside aggressively, disrupting the peace. The orcs are present to report completing a quest, showcasing their trophies with intense energy. They inquire about additional quests, showing readiness to accept other tasks or requests available. One orc suggests sharing a drink if there are no quests, but the female adventurer notes she's busy. There's mention of an emergency request with a high reward due to its difficulty. A level 15 adventurer is required. The orcs express concern about the request's high level, questioning the details and implied danger. The task involves dealing with carnivorous creatures troubling farmers, with previous adventurers already injured or missing. The adventurers learn that even those with higher levels struggled against these beasts, implying the task's true difficulty and advising level 20 or above. Defying caution, the adventurer decides to accept the challenging request, showcasing confidence and determination. The bold action is met with derision, but he maintains resolve, refusing to back down from the confrontation. The orc warns of the consequences if a weapon is drawn in the guild, maintaining tension in the encounter. They mock the adventurer, assuming his inexperience, and question his bravery in the face of monsters. Despite criticism, he suggests showcasing his skills in an arena, relying on his divine selection system for victory. The orc advises caution, emphasizing the importance of not overreaching given his current iron badge and the potential embarrassment. The female adventurer acknowledges his courage but reiterates concerns about rejection due to his current level. Further taunting occurs as the orc suggests he starts with simpler tasks, mocking his capabilities. However, the female adventurer resolves to undertake the task, confident in their abilities to succeed. Skepticism arises about her capability, questioning whether she truly possesses the skills necessary for success. A gold badge is revealed as proof of her competence and readiness to handle the formidable task. Shock spreads among the orcs as they witness the gold badge, recognizing its significance and authority. The male adventurer, surprised by her possession of a gold badge, reacts with amazement, assessing her capabilities in a new light. In a dimly lit room, the male character acknowledges that things should have been made clearer from the start, hinting at a complicated situation. A cat-eared woman expresses her confidence in a request, certain that the requester will be satisfied with the outcome. As two figures leave the room, a sense of retreat is noted by a watching character observing their departure quietly. A young girl informs the black-haired boy that the request will aid his progression, and he agrees to proceed without hesitation. The cat-eared woman ponders the reason behind a gold badge adventurer referring to a young boy as master, expressing her curiosity. Alone at the counter, the woman reflects on the strange and intriguing nature of the group she has encountered. Walking along the path, the boy mentions that the farm inhabited by dangerous creatures should be nearby. The girl admits the surprise revelation of her gold badge, explaining her long history with the guild and her frequent collaborations. As she recounts her journey in leveling up, the boy appreciates her achievements and how difficult it must have been for her. Sakura, blushing, quietly expresses her gratitude for the recognition of her efforts. The pair reaches a desolate place shrouded in mist, noting the strength of their potential adversaries. A dark, stormy sky looms over grotesque creatures, preparing them for the challenge that lies ahead. The boy contemplates the power of the menacing creatures, wondering about the people inside the foreboding building. Sakura explains the nature of these creatures, their origins, and the threat they pose to life and intelligence. Recognizing their slimy composition and elemental weakness, they strategize for the best approach. The boy confidently prepares to launch his powerful Thunder Chain attack, believing it to be the most effective option. Encouraged, he readies himself with a display of electrical energy, inviting Sakura to observe his leveling up efforts. Sakura, concerned, insists on joining the battle, emphasizing the risk of facing a flock of enemies alone. Recalling past warnings, Sakura highlights the inherent danger of their mission, underlying the seriousness of their endeavor. Contemplating their situation, the boy brings forward two questions for Sakura, seeking clarity. He reflects on his intent to raise his level, expressing a desire to be prepared for unforeseen challenges in his world. Sakura, willing to help, assures him she'll answer as best as she can, recalling a promise made to the Beastman King. The boy admits uncertainty about his strength in relation to the king's expectations, contemplating his task for the year. Addressing her master, Sakura honestly begins to explain this situation, prompting his attentive curiosity. With a somber tone, Sakura reveals the impossibility of his passing the trial with his current level. The boy, surprised and puzzled, seeks an explanation for the difficulty of the task ahead. Sakura emphasizes the magnitude of surviving the year alone, warning him about the divine judgment he must avoid. The boy requests a detailed explanation, acknowledging his limited understanding of the world's level system. Reflecting, he realizes that his abilities as a hero are closely tied to his combat level as an adventurer in this world. Sakura explains that the Beastman King's high level is a testament to his unmatched combat prowess, setting a daunting benchmark. The three powerful figures represent the pinnacle of their respective races, the Beastman King, Human King, and Elven King, each embodying the ultimate strength of their lineages. Tsuyoshi ponders the true strength of the Beastman King, doubting if he really deserves the title of the most powerful amongst the Beastmen. An elder explains to Tsuyoshi the limitations of growth for adventurers, emphasizing the struggle to advance beyond certain levels, with the difficulty increasing as one's level rises. Lily reflects on her experience, noting she's been an adventurer for over 2 decades and it hasn't surpassed level 72, using herself as an example of the limits that adventurers face. Lily acknowledges her level limit, explaining that despite her efforts, she failed to surpass level 72. She mentions Tsuyoshi needs to reach level 50 to even attempt the Beast King's trial. Lily insists it's impossible for anyone to significantly increase their level in a mere year, especially reaching as high as level 50, a milestone even seasoned adventurers take much longer to achieve. Tsuyoshi, acknowledging Lily's concerns, expresses understanding of her worry with a calm demeanor. Lily offers her support for the year ahead, assuring Tsuyoshi that she'll accompany him in his endeavors, regardless of whether he can fulfill his promise to the Beast King. Tsuyoshi asserts that he isn't a typical adventurer, hinting at his unique capabilities which set him apart from the norm. Citing his resilience following the divine judgment, Tsuyoshi expresses confidence in reaching at least level 50 within a year, believing in his extraordinary nature. Tsuyoshi reveals his reliance on the divine selection system afforded by his ring, a mechanism through which he believes all things are possible for him, considering himself the chosen one. Inspired, Lily tells Tsuyoshi that he will undoubtedly become a legend, expressing her belief and trust in his potential. Tsuyoshi, now resolute and ready, energizes himself with electricity as he prepares to move forward with determination. Tsuyoshi indicates he has a second question, his curiosity piqued as he faces the challenges before him. Apologizing for her verbosity, Lily considers a situation where Tsuyoshi might face a level 10 warrior alongside multiple minions, highlighting the necessity of strategic strength. Tsuyoshi calculates the minimum level needed for dealing with such a dire confrontation, seeking clarity on his target level. Lily suggests that facing so many adversaries would require Tsuyoshi to reach at least level 12 to maintain an edge. Determined, Tsuyoshi decides to aim for level 12 within a week, already considering himself at warrior level 8, with various skills and equipment at his disposal. As a mysterious sludge monster looms ahead, Tsuyoshi confidently asks Sakura to leave the task to him, ready to confront the challenge alone. Tsuyoshi resolves to fully utilize the system he possesses, activating the Divine Eye to gain an upper hand in the ensuing battle. The creature, revealed as a level 10 carnivorous darkness-type monster, displays its vulnerabilities, including its core weakness that Tsuyoshi plans to exploit. Tsuyoshi strategizes, recognizing the slime core's elemental and physical weaknesses. He plans to employ Thunder Chain Fall to target this weakness effectively. Preparing for battle, Tsuyoshi knows he must locate the core of the colossal slime first, aware that contact with it could have corrupting consequences. Upon discovering the core, Tsuyoshi trusts in his ultimate physique to withstand the creature's assaults, fortifying himself for the attack. With his ultimate physique activated, Tsuyoshi advances confidently, focused on closing the distance to the core. Tsuyoshi notices the core is not in the expected location, amazed by the creature's rapid recuperation speed. As the monster attempts to consume him, Tsuyoshi feels unfazed, mocking its choice of victim, knowing it's made a grave mistake. His enhanced arm strength empowers Tsuyoshi, courtesy of his ultimate physique, preparing him for a powerful offensive move. Tsuyoshi taunts the creature, likening himself to a bug drawn to flame as he uses his strength to break free and counterattack. In a climactic moment, Tsuyoshi declares his intention to destroy the creature, determined to eradicate it with his impending strike. Zvera Koroleva reflects on the immense power she witnessed, thinking about how the man is capable of achieving the impossible just as he claimed. A fierce battle unfolds against a creature labeled Carnivorous Darkness Level 10, as it lets out a haunting cry. A hand tightly grips a weapon, realizing the hidden location of something important under the tongue. Tsuyoshi stands ready, commanding the power of thunder to enhance his attack as he launches into action. The attack, named Thunder Chainfall, cascades over the enemy, creating a swirling electric power around them. After a successful strike, Tsuyoshi assesses that this task appears to be easy, showcasing his level, class, and skills succinctly. A scenario shifts to 30 minutes later, marking a passage of time with shattered fragments glistening in the darkness. Tsuyoshi surveys the aftermath, noting that nearly all of the carnivorous darkness has been dealt with outside. Reflecting on Sakura's words, Tsuyoshi ponders how the experience needed to level up increases with his growing level, making the gains from weaker foes quite negligible. Despite the progress, he acknowledges that this mission won't suffice to level up. He debates adjusting his plans to match his aspirations and eloquently resolves to strive toward his goal diligently. Severa Koroliva praises Tsuyoshi's performance and inquires if he has any thunder ointment, suggesting it as a beneficial tool. Severa Koroliva reveals her preparation, producing 4 bottles and explaining they're intended for both of them, allowing freedom in their use. Tsuyoshi admires Severa Koroliva's foresight in acquiring the thunder oil from a vendor, while pondering the costs and acknowledging the convenience of similar items previously used. Severa Koroliva addresses the financial strains, expressing how the costly nature of such items has depleted their funds and apologizes for the situation. Tsuyoshi reassures Severa Koroliva, requesting a simple breakdown of their expenses, admitting he overlooked financial considerations due to focus on other priorities. In a marketplace, pondering if spending all of her savings would have gone unnoticed by Severa Koroliva shows the weight of fiscal responsibility. A detailed explanation follows concerning the price variations and rewards for different requests, outlining how the guild's compensation often fails to cover even 1 gold coin. A different character elaborates further, describing how the reward for cleaning up the carnivorous darkness falls short of expectations, correlating it to the task's difficulty. Severa Koroliva simplifies their financial status, stating they are poor, and anticipates that the Adventurers Guild will subsequently provide their rewards once this task completes. Tsuyoshi compliments Severa Koroliva for her reliability, indirectly linking this trait to companionship while expressing his admiration. Determined to finish the remaining task quickly, Tsuyoshi and Severa Koroliva head towards the food warehouse where the boss is assumed to be hiding. The voice demands to know who they are and why they entered the farm without obtaining permission, stopping them in their tracks. The farm's owner reveals himself, questioning their presence on his farm and expressing curiosity about what adventurers, especially a human and a half, are doing there. Skepticism arises among other characters about the possibility that such powerful magic against the carnivorous darkness was executed by the duo, doubting their capabilities. Tension escalates as others claim the quest, asserting that they were there for the drop item Cardiolus, setting up a potential conflict over its ownership. Tsuyoshi attempts to clarify the misunderstanding, stating that he believed there was a request from the guild and urges them to wait before proceeding. Severa Koroliva's surprise is evident upon learning that Cardiolus drops from the boss, indicating an unexpected twist in their mission. The farm owner verifies the issuance of a guild request, but is perplexed by how quickly they arrived, hinting they are unaware of the boss's drop specifics. The adversaries advise Tsuyoshi to leave, declaring they are adamant about dealing with Cardiolus themselves and warning against interference. Tsuyoshi, confused, turns to Severa Koroliva for clarification on Cardiolus, who advises him not to abandon their quest because of the item's high value. The narrative began with the mention of a rare item called the Cardiolus, which originates from a dark boss. Purifying it grants a unique ability to connect with dark areas. Adventurers are drawn to it due to its ability to increase the drop and experience rate tenfold compared to normal areas. Selling it at an auction could fetch around 150,000 coins, making it a lucrative opportunity. Understanding its immense value, this male character felt compelled to obtain Cardiolus regardless of the effort involved. It was critical to his mission, and he felt determined to achieve his goal at any cost. A confrontation unfolded as a male attempted to mediate between opposing sides, pleading for an end to the fighting. He urged both to stop the chaos so the misunderstanding could be resolved peacefully. An orc mentioned the arrival of 2 parties, one from the guild and another through himself, as proof of skill was desired. Only by defeating the boss would one receive the coveted reward. A woman, driven by dedication, asked to go first in an effort to secure what she needed for her master. She seemed determined to prove her worth and commitment. A larger orc questioned why she should be allowed to go first, reasoning that both parties had only one chance. He asserted that they should go first, having been brought by the requester. Preparing for battle, another group leader rallied his companions, consisting of a magician, archer, warrior, and tank. Recognizing the dark boss's strength, they motivated each other with the promise of a high reward. Observing this well-formed party, a male and female exchanged concerns, thinking they had probably lost their chance at success, acknowledging the group's capability in defeating the boss. The male adventurer proposed a suggestion to the opposing party, asking to go in first alone, aiming to challenge the situation with determination and conviction. Explaining his position, he revealed himself to be a level 6 adventurer. He boldly proposed that if he failed, he would withdraw, but if victorious, the reward should be his alone. The others mocked his bravery, believing him incapable of soloing a boss requiring at least level 19. Laughter filled the scene as they were convinced his judgment was clouded by the allure of Cardiellis. The female, Sakura, expressed concern to her master about the boss's minimum level of 12 and its possession by darkness, but was willing to support him despite her reservations. Shriya encouraged Sakura to believe in him, conveying confidence and a trusting relationship. He wanted her assurance as he prepared for the challenge ahead. Despite initial doubts, Sakura reaffirmed her faith in her master, agreeing to trust in his capabilities and plans. Doubts and mockery continued, with an orc laughing at the idea of the master facing the boss. He eagerly anticipated the master's failure and downfall. Shriya appeared relaxed, responding to the taunts in agreement, yet seemingly unfazed and ready to embrace the challenge ahead. As he prepared, his level was suddenly hidden from view. Shriya felt ready to determine if he could conquer the boss or face destruction himself. A character wearing a mask sensed a change in the adventurer's aura, questioning whether it was just his imagination. It seemed like a significant shift in atmosphere. The adventurer recognized the opponent as the formidable foe Sakura had mentioned. Yet his interest was keenly focused on acquiring the Cardiolus, marking his intent. Gazing upon the dark boss, the party realized its massive scale and level 14 power. They recognized that defeating it would require at least level 23, otherwise facing a strong resistance. A more seasoned orc warned the others about preparing to collect a corpse, doubting the adventurer's survivability beyond 10 seconds. He felt the adventurer was blinded by dreams of gaining the Cardiolus. Strategizing, Shriya acknowledged his adversary's vulnerabilities to carnivorous darkness, planning to exploit such weaknesses in his approach. Though aware of a substantial power difference, Shriya understood that the same methods used outside wouldn't suffice inside. He intended to adapt his strategy accordingly. Forced to change tactics, he reluctantly decided to call forth the black freezing flash sword, understanding that extending the battle would be to the boss's advantage. Gathering his strength, Shriya intended to strike with the Divine King's hammer, confident that a single second would suffice to achieve victory given the power of the thunderous weapon. With the plan in motion, Shriya decided to enhance his physical strength with thunder, thinking this would give him an edge in overpowering the darkness and claiming victory. Despite the risks involved, he resolved to make it happen, driven to secure the Cardiolus no matter the cost, even if this last strike left him weakened. Sakura realized the use of such incredible power would lead to Shriya's temporary weakness afterward, but she seemed both in awe and concern about his decision. In the aftermath, chaos erupted as members questioned what had just occurred. Confusion reigned among the adventurers and the orcs, leaving them bewildered about their location and next steps. In the midst of the debris, Sakura called out frantically for her master. However, she believed the boss should have been defeated by Shriya's powerful strike, fulfilling the objective. Tsuyoshi is seen falling, pondering if this is the Cardiolus everyone talked about earlier. He's a level 6 warrior with Fox Beastman's set equipment, wielding the black freezing flash sword and possessing Thunder Chain fall skill. His stats show a need for significant experience points for the next level. At the Adventurers Guild, a note of admiration is expressed for someone's swift task completion, praising them for their impressive speed. They mention there's a reward for the completed work. Zverakorol, leaning casually on the counter, commends someone for being deserving of a gold badge. The person is informed that the client's previous party failed to achieve anything. The recipient with humility expresses gratitude, attributing the real success to their master, acknowledging they couldn't have defeated the final boss. Zverakorol reacts incredulously, doubting the master's capability, explaining that the boss was a formidable level 14 carnivorous creature. They point out that such a task is beyond a level 6 adventurer's ability. Tsuyoshi appears exhausted, slumped against a wall as someone notes his weakened state. Standing her ground, the warrior insists that her master was solely responsible for the victory, highlighting the physical and mental toll it took, which led to the weakening of his stats. Tsuyoshi regains his composure, shaking off the weakness status as his energy replenishes. With a sigh of relief, Tsuyoshi admits the unexpected recoil from using the move and appreciates how Sakura's absence would have made it dangerous. He inquires if there's any information on Cardiolus. Zverekarol is surprised to hear about acquiring Cardiolus and suggests auctioning it at a central city venue for a high price if selling is intended. The warrior clarifies there's no intent to sell, instead expressing a desire to approach a shaman guild for purification, questioning if a referral is necessary. Zverekarol advises that Cardiolus must be purified and magically infused by a shaman, asking about the purposeful use afterward. She offers to write a referral letter to the shaman guild located east of the city, cautioning about potential refusal due to an upcoming exam but promises to provide the letter nonetheless. Tsuyoshi queries about the shaman exam and ponders the ranking system among shamans. The warrior explains that, similar to adventurers, shamans undergo an exam divided into 6 ranks. She adds that shamans create special items and medicines, making them valuable like awakers. Expanding further, she describes shamans as distinct from regular adventurers, often not engaging in combat and being esteemed for their ability to provide valuable items and medicines affecting adventurer-level caps. Tsuyoshi reflects on the level cap, learning that one competent shaman can outweigh many adventurers. Medicines and items crafted by skilled shamans can alter battle outcomes, drawing adventurers to them for aid. The prestigious shamans is highlighted, recounting a tale of a level 80 warrior who enlisted numerous adventurers with a silver shaman's help, showcasing their significant influence. With understanding, Tsuyoshi finds the prospect fascinating, thinking about the depth of shaman capabilities. Zverekarol hands over the referral letter, assuring entrance into the Shaman Guild for Cardiolus purification, and thanks are exchanged. The Shaman Guild's entrance is shown, bustling with individuals likely there for an exam. Tsuyoshi and the warrior discuss the heavy presence of magicians due to exam day, noting the challenge of entering on such occasions. With the Adventurers Guild referral letter, they plan to join the line, believing it will grant them access. An orc-like figure intercepts, inquiring about their request for Cardiolus purification. He mockingly identifies them as a mixed duo, with a stern reminder that exam day exclusivity prevents entry for non-shamans. The warrior politely explains their possession of a referral letter from the Adventurers Guild, attempting to validate their request. The guild member irritably dismisses the letter's importance, emphasizing the priority of the exam over any external referrals, and insists they leave. Tsuyoshi firmly states his unwillingness to retreat, reiterating the significance of the referral letter and demanding entry. With a mocking laugh, the Shaman Guild member reiterates their authority, declaring that entry is impossible until the exam concludes, despite the number of days passing. The warrior warns Tsuyoshi about provoking anger further, concerned about the consequences of their confrontation. Doug wonders aloud about the commotion surrounding him as he stands with authority, wearing his shaman cloak. From the stairs above, Doug receives an apology for the disturbance as he looks over a gathering crowd. An adjacent man with a fierce demeanor accuses others of trying to arrange a Cardiolus purification on examination day, stating they've been refused. As Doug prepares to intervene, a person speaks up, presenting a guild referral letter and questioning why access wasn't granted. Dismissing the human warrior's impatience, Doug agrees to aid in purification, but insists it must wait until after the examination. The warrior expresses urgency, emphasizing the importance of leveling up, and asks if there's another way. Doug suggests taking the shaman exam for a high score, but clarifies that the warrior doesn't meet examination requirements. The warrior queries about the requirements for the shaman exam, seeming eager to know more. The crowd murmurs about the warrior's apparent lack of knowledge, mocking his inquiry as disgraceful. A wise figure explains that to become a shaman, one must possess a magician's aptitude and pass tests for potion crafting. The warrior confidently asks to borrow a staff, believing this will demonstrate his magician abilities. Doubt and disbelief surround him, questioning the practicality and legality of borrowing the president's staff. Undeterred, the warrior insists on borrowing the staff, promising to prove his qualifications. Doug shows interest, offering the staff to the warrior, acknowledging its lack of level restrictions. Nearby, a girl questions the warrior's intentions, showing concern for his plan. The warrior reassures her, expressing trust in his own abilities as she seems to accept his confidence. The warrior takes the staff firmly, ready to prove himself as expressions of anticipation rise around him. With determination, the warrior activates his skills, planning to duplicate magical abilities through the staff. He realizes that his choice of being a warrior was merely a preference, as various magical possibilities unfold before him. The warrior selects Shining, focusing on its support attributes and how it enhances various senses. Confirmation of skill duplication arrives as a bystander questions his actions in disbelief. Demonstrating magical deployment, the warrior exemplifies his staff's capability, asserting eligibility for the shaman exam. Observing the magic waves, the crowd realizes the warrior may not be a simple combatant as presumed. The warrior instructs Sakura to close her eyes, hinting at an impending display of magical brilliance. The wise figure responds by deploying an imagined shield, using magic without his staff to form a protective barrier. He contemplates the strength of the warrior's simple magic shining, doubting its ability to breach his shields. Sensing an opportunity, the warrior opts to enhance his magical energy, eager to test ultimate physique enhancement. As the magical potency increases, the intensity of the warrior's shining spell significantly strengthens. The wise figure is caught off guard by the sudden elevation in the shining's intensity, realizing the power shift. Under the pressure of the intense light, the imagined shield proves insufficient, unable to withstand the dazzling magic. A strong male figure stands confidently, identified as Tsuyoshi, drawing the attention of those around him as he prepares for the shaman exam. Nearby, a girl with cat-like ears, identified as Riri, watches in awe, addressing him as President Doug. Tsuyoshi, displaying a serious demeanor, questions if his current state is sufficient for qualifying in the shaman exam. Details about his level, equipment, and skills are highlighted, demonstrating his readiness. An elder with a long beard, possibly a shaman leader, acknowledges Tsuyoshi's capabilities, expressing recognition and approval of his qualifications with great emphasis. The atmosphere in the exam hall is buzzing with whispers among other attendees. Some question the appropriateness of a human participating in the shaman exam, suggesting it might be more suited for pharmacists. Among the crowd, diverse figures express astonishment at the unprecedented presence of a human in the shaman exam. It's noted as a first-time occurrence, stirring curiosity and skepticism. Tsuyoshi senses the intense gazes from the other participants, feeling like an outlier. He understands that being the first human in this exam likely makes others suspicious of his intentions. Riri, startled, seeks confirmation from Tsuyoshi, asking if he truly is the first human to take the exam. Tsuyoshi affirms her assumption calmly. The narrative explores how humans are typically classified as pharmacists, differentiating from beastmen, shamans, and elven awakeners. This clarification hints at the unique roles and expectations within each group. Riri reflects on the exam's customs. It's noted that while no explicit rules exclude human participation, tradition has often kept humans from joining, making Tsuyoshi's participation provocative. Tsuyoshi humorously admits his sole intention was to have their cardiolist purified, not to incite any unrest. Despite potential provocation, there's no rule violation, and he feels justified. Observers express mild disagreement with President Doug's decision to allow a human participant. Their murmurs suggest underlying concerns about precedent and tradition. A pig-like figure, titled as the Northern Shaman and Vice President, worries about the honor of the Beastman Shaman faction. His doubts about Tsuyoshi's abilities to make potions are evident. The elder, who lent Tsuyoshi a staff, reassures others, emphasizing the exam is about testing potion-making skills, thus shifting focus from who participates to what they can achieve. The elder expresses curiosity regarding Tsuyoshi's potential, noting a moment where he sensed a strong linkage of magic waves coming from Tsuyoshi, albeit briefly. There's a reference to a genius shaman named Kevin, with whom only few have ever compared. The elder sees a flicker of similar potential in Tsuyoshi, heightening intrigue. Some, however, remain skeptical, joking that Tsuyoshi could never match Kevin's genius, implying he isn't even worthy to be a servant to Kevin's disciple, dismissing any potential threat. The focus shifts to Kevin's new disciple, Fulin, who is present. She is aiming for the top spot, aligning herself with the high expectations set by her mentor. Fulin, a confident manicap with remarkable talents, is noted for her magical aptitude. Her presence and Kevin's praises position her as a prodigious participant in the exam. Conversations among the crowd revolve around Fulin's capabilities. Despite her young age, she has already attempted potion-making independently, now poised to compete for the top place. Amidst the murmuring crowd, Fulin expresses slight disdain, finding the noise around her distracting as she remains focused on the exam. The exam is about to commence as participants are instructed to take their designated positions based on previously assigned numbers, bringing order and anticipation. Riri, holding her number, reassures Tsuyoshi with well wishes as she plans to head outside, optimistic about his fortune and readiness for the challenge ahead. Tsuyoshi holds his slip marked 15, confirming his position in the exam queue, as the numbers are visibly arranged on the floor to guide the participants. He matches his number 15 with the marked spot on the ground, signifying readiness and aligning him with the others, creating a sense of anticipation and order. Introducing himself as Tsuyoshi, he observes the surrounding participants, noting how different and charming each of them, including Fulin and Riri, appear. Fulin, noticing Tsuyoshi, dismissively mocks his human presence in the shaman exam as someone seeking attention, hinting at a challenging rivalry. Faced with Fulin's sharp remarks, Tsuyoshi internally notes her abrasiveness as one of her few flaws, choosing to remain focused despite the taunting. The overseer addresses all participants, reinforcing the challenge to create potions as a test of shaman skills, urging them towards commitment and diligence in their undertaken path. As the challenge begins, Tsuyoshi exclaims in surprise at the task before him, drawing attention to his sense of unfamiliarity and the steep competition. Fulin, exhibiting confidence, remarks on Tsuyoshi's apparent ignorance of basic shaman tools, suggesting he might be in over his head, deepening their competitive tension. The man yells for everyone to leave him alone as his expression grows intense. He reflects on the refining station and how the world's potions are crafted in an old-fashioned manner. Two figures mention Vice President Pig, who is responsible for announcing the test details. A paper reveals it's a test of basic potion skills and requires making energy potions within an hour. The man contemplates making 3 basic energy potions in an hour, curious about the performance of other participants. A goat-headed figure highlights the importance of selecting the right materials for basic energy potions, noting the challenge for amateurs. The scene shows tension among participants, underscoring the difficulty of picking the right materials, leading to many eliminations. The man observes widespread uncertainty among participants about which materials to choose. He recalls that magicians usually have their materials prepared in advance, a contrast to the current situation. A cat-eared woman effortlessly completes her material selection, criticizing the others for forgetting basic materials. The man admires the woman's speed and skill, finding it impressive. She confirms her achievement with a slight scoff, determined to accomplish her task, meeting the expectations of her master. The observing goat-headed figure praises Fulin, noting her precision and speed, making the test seem easy for her. The process of crushing materials is depicted, showcasing the intense effort involved. The man is impressed, acknowledging Fulin's sharp tongue but admiring her abilities. He decides to try and imitate Fulin by activating his divine eye, analyzing her actions carefully. Observers comment on Kevin's accurate judgment of Fulin, predicting her future success as a shaman. The goat-headed figure explains the crucial and final procedure of potion making. He emphasizes the critical act of refining, where merging materials tests one's magical prowess, which Fulin handles smoothly. As others proceed, the man remains stationary, causing concern among spectators about his inactivity. The transformation process, referred to as solidification, is illustrated with vibrant visuals. Fulin casually states that her task is complete, asserting her superiority in the competition. Instructions indicate that participants should wait for their work to be assessed once finished. Fulin expresses her impatience about having to wait for the others to complete their tasks. The man is caught staring, prompting Fulin to confront him, while his divine eye's analysis remains on pause. He responds with a simple thank you, and she's reminded there's no time to waste, although she doubts his capabilities. A prompt appears, asking the man if he wants to optimize the analyzed actions. As he chooses to optimize, the materials are automatically selected and crushed, moving into a fierce state of refinement. Fulin reacts with surprise as she witnesses the man selecting, crushing, and refining materials simultaneously, shocked at his power. Observers note the man's hidden capabilities, recognizing his technique resembles a powerful process meant to simplify the typical methods. The scene unfolds in a mystical setting, where an observer marvels at the skill on display, wondering if someone is as genius as Kevin. At the Shaman Guild entrance, a woman with cat-like features ponders about her master's performance in the exam. Although she harbors worries, her faith in the master's abilities remains steadfast. She reflects on potential setbacks in potion making and the ongoing exam, recalling the complexities involved. The master finds excitement in the potion-making process, realizing the intricate nature of his shamanic journey. With focus, he approaches the refining step, aiming to transform magic into a solidified potion. A female challenger is shocked by his speed, driven by her determination not to be outdone by a mere human. Suspicion arises about if he's using techniques learned during his exam to expedite his progress. Memories of Kevin's past achievements with a C-grade potion surface, showing the high standards set in the guild. Despite the potential distractions, the importance of concentrating on potion making is emphasized. The master is informed about potion classification, which is alien to his original understanding, adding depth to his evaluation. His potion is rated as D-grade, an entry-level position, yet suitable for his current examination needs. To secure his position, he decides he must outperform the girl by creating a C-grade potion. He contemplates how to refine the potion and raise its grade further. He recalls that the potion's quality depends on his magic's strength and attributes. Formulating a plan, he resolves to increase his magic strength through his ultimate physique. Observers note his pause and refinement, worrying about his concentration levels and the potential for failure. Curiosity as to why he hesitates when success seems within reach rises among the spectators. He is questioned about the status of his refinement by onlookers. A warning is given that if he takes more time, his magic might deplete. With a quick intervention, a female shaman instructs them not to interfere and accuses them of distraction. He muses over his current magic state without attributes, pondering how he might alter them. The idea emerges to use the Divine King's hammer to infuse his magic with lightning attributes. Observers sense instability in his magic waves, forewarning potential failure. He calls upon the Divine King's hammer, determined to succeed. With renewed vigor, he seeks the power of the hammer to enhance his potion. The sudden surge of his magical power surprises everyone present. He acknowledges the briefness of the lightning attribute but remains confident it is enough to complete his task. Channeling the power of the hammer, he intensifies the refining process. With effort, he announces the completion of the basic energy potion. Tsuyoshi is feeling the exhaustion from using magic and wonders if it was enough to surpass her. Severo remarks on the instability of the refinement process but acknowledges its surprising success. Tsuyoshi stands puzzled, and others question what he did while the crowd observes. A participant announces that those who violate instructions will be disqualified, demanding everyone to cease their work. The leader instructs everyone that Vice President Pig and he will now evaluate the potions as they proceed to the judging area. The leader samples a potion, noting its weak, quickly disappearing scent and grades it as D. A participant expresses their honor as the leader congratulates them for passing. Sverakorol examines a potion that is cloudy and bird-smelling, a sign of failure due to overly forceful refining. A woman pleads in distress, cautioning that drinking her potion would cause a debuff, advising further study. A female character named Fulin is called for her turn, curious if Kevin is performing well. Pig assures Fulin that her master's performance is satisfactory, and she expresses relief. Sverakorol notes with enthusiasm the promising overflow of fragrance from another potion. He declares the potion as a C-grade basic energy potion due to its rich and lasting scent. Fulin feels satisfied, proud that she did not embarrass her master with her performance. Observers are impressed, commenting on Fulin's brilliance being similar to Kevin's, confident she will secure first place. Tsuyoshi observes the C-grade potion, acknowledging its impressive quality. Tsuyoshi is reminded that it is now his turn in the examination. The leader inquires about Tsuyoshi's feelings regarding his results, and he admits to doing his best. The leader suggests Tsuyoshi's lack of confidence might lead to a D grade at best. The leader remains composed, expressing that Tsuyoshi's effort is what matters and proceeds to check the grade. Unexpectedly, a lightning strike occurs, noted as a supernatural phenomenon by the leader. The phenomenon leads to the conclusion that Tsuyoshi's potion is at least B grade. The character expresses disbelief, noting that only someone with Kevin's power could achieve a B grade. The leader admires the richness, purity, and supernatural qualities of Tsuyoshi's potion. The vice president admits to underestimating Tsuyoshi, realizing he might be more formidable than Kevin. Tsuyoshi's potion, labeled A grade, ensures his position as the top performer in the exam. Meanwhile, a restless Karina waits anxiously outside the Shaman Association entrance. Her worry intensifies as others mention her master's persistent absence. Karina welcomes Tsuyoshi back with relief, having been worried during his absence. With curiosity, she inquires about the result of his exam, appearing eager to know. As the crowd admired his victory, the man proudly shared that he came in first place, feeling great about his achievement amidst congratulatory voices around him. Holding he questioned why someone with so much power would want to purify it, hinting at its significance. Standing in the sunlit area, the girl mentioned needing the cardiolist for leveling up, which prompted the elder to promise to fulfill her wish since she got first place in the exam. The imposing figure with tusks questioned loudly about the presence of a potion-making master, expressing disbelief at the possibility of not having one. The man revealed nonchalantly that he had no teacher, testing and learning on his own, emphasizing his independence through the finality of his statement. In admiration and perhaps envy, the large figure conceded, feeling miserable for not having self-taught everything like the man did. The goat-like figure, draped in robes, directed them to purify the cardiolist, promising the white shaman's robes as a grant afterward. A humble apology was offered to a master named Kevin, admitting defeat to a supposedly weak human and the weight of losing. A feline-featured girl reacted to the mention of Kevin's name, recognizing his significance and identifying the speaker as Kevin's disciple. Turning to Sakura, the man inquired about her sudden distraction, noticing her silence, causing an air of curiosity. Sakura reassured him of her focus, attributing her momentary lapse to having spaced out, a fleeting look of cheerfulness crossing her eyes. Encouragingly, he invited her to follow, hinting at an upcoming objective once the purification task concluded, suggesting an ongoing journey. Inside the ritual room, mystical symbols glowed upon the ground, hinting at an impending ceremonial act, a place of ancient power. The shaman began an invocation, calling upon elemental spirits to heed his wishes, using their power to cleanse the Cardiolus. Acknowledging the dark power of the Cardiolus, the large figure spoke of the need for a specialized purification ritual, relieved they had the chairman to rely on for this. The man expressed amazement at the shaman's spell, learning that this serious ritual used specialized magic that only trained individuals could perform. As the ritual reached its climax, golden light burst forth, purifying the Cardiolus, eliminating flaws and affirming its transformed state. The shaman, wielding immense power, completed the purification, commanding the magic to bestow new life into the purified Cardiolus. The instruction was given to infuse magic into the Cardiolus, which elicited gratitude and awe from the listener at its newfound potential. A lesson on Cardiolus classification illuminated the dangers adventurers faced in the dark area, revealing the one at hand to be of medium grade. Inquiring about the grade's luck, the elder explained that navigating the dark area's challenges would increase experience and rewards, distinct from beginner trials. The goat-like figure offered expert advice on party composition, suggesting a balanced team before inquiring about his plans. With a nonchalant air, the man indicated he had no party, preferring to venture alone to maximize experience points, prompting surprise. Shocked expressions met the revelation of his intention to face the dark area unaided, concern evident in the bystanders' exclamations. The swirling entrance to the dark area appeared ominous, described as a place where one could confront and extinguish darkness thrice before being expelled. Details on the rules emerged, emphasizing the inability to exit without defeating all monsters or dying, marking a perilous task ahead. With a chuckle, he reassured his companion that he had no intention of emerging defeated, acknowledging her concern over such misfortune. Transferring potions to him, she reminded him of their necessity inside, mentioning her efforts in acquiring them from a previous encounter. Appreciating her thoughtfulness, he expressed his gratitude, intent on returning safely, a mutual trust between them apparent. The elder realized the staff's return, questioning the man's ability to use magic without it, offering further assistance if needed. Tsuyoshi dismisses the offer of help, stating he doesn't need it, while holding a glowing object in his hand as a sign of confidence in his abilities. He declares himself a warrior, showcasing his determination and readiness for battle, with information about his level and abilities displayed prominently. A female character urges Tsuyoshi to be safe as he charges into a portal, emphasizing the concern for his safety. A surprise is expressed by a beast character about Tsuyoshi's dual talents, noting the unexpected combination of magic and warrior skills. The bearded character reflects on Tsuyoshi's growing potential and eagerly anticipates his future development. As Tsuyoshi enters the dark forest, instructions mention defeating monsters quickly due to time constraints, highlighting the urgency of his mission. He strategizes to avoid being surrounded by the dark wolves, acknowledging their swift attack speed and the necessity to handle them quickly. Tsuyoshi considers enhancing his attack power, using his ultimate physique to tackle the oncoming wolf threats confidently. He strengthens his arms to increase attack power, advising against making noises during the execution of this technique. Tsuyoshi plans to utilize the Thunder Chain to paralyze the wild dark wolves as part of his battle strategy. He is impressed by the experience points gained per monster, which are higher than those from his original world, adding motivation to continue. Tsuyoshi decides to fight 3 more rounds with the aim of potentially leveling up twice before exiting the area. The quick fading of the paralysis effect in the darkness surprises him, acknowledging the toughness of the environment. Tsuyoshi narrowly avoids a potentially fatal attack, marveling at the extreme speed of his opponent. He notices the clever tactics used by the enemy to impede his vision or attack pattern, presenting an additional challenge. Gaining experience at a rapid pace, Tsuyoshi anticipates reaching the next level quickly on his initial attempt. The female character appears worried, acknowledging her concerns about Tsuyoshi's safety with a companion. They discuss the rarity and risk of entering the dark area alone without notable power, pondering Tsuyoshi's exceptional abilities. The female character affirms her trust in her master, showcasing unwavering loyalty and belief in his capabilities. A beast character doubts Tsuyoshi's chances against the dark area's boss and decides to leave, hoping the human will change his mind. Tsuyoshi reflects on the constant fighting he has faced so far, knowing a sense of weariness from the battles. His stamina and willpower are significantly reduced, acknowledging the physical toll of utilizing his ultimate physique. Grateful for Sakura's help, he appreciates the restocked medicine, which includes basic stamina and energy potions. Despite his gratitude, Tsuyoshi grimaces at the unpleasant taste of the potion he consumes, struggling to endure it. As he recovers his stamina and willpower, Tsuyoshi resolves to keep pushing forward with renewed vigor. The female character questions the return of Chairman Doug, expressing curiosity about the situation. Concern is shown by another character about Tsuyoshi's safe return, indicating worry about his current mission. A character comments on Tsuyoshi, intrigued by his versatility in handling both warrior duties and potion crafting. Suddenly, the character hears something from within the portal, suggesting activity occurring inside. Recognizing the sound as her master's thunder, the female character identifies the noise with a look of recognition. Two figures watch a swirling portal, reassured that as long as they hear its hum, their master remains safe. In a dark forest, lightning crackles around as a figure prepares to unleash a thunderous attack, commanding the elements with intent. After dispatching an enemy and gaining experience points, he notes only the boss remains in his path. Amidst fatigue, he reflects on reaching the deepest part of his journey, excited at the prospect of defeating the final boss and reaching level 7. Standing before an ominous mystical door, he decides a brief rest might prepare him better for the imminent boss fight. Despite the unpleasant taste, he acknowledges the powerful effect of the world's medicine compared to what he's known before, feeling restored. Fully recovered and determined, he grips his sword, ready to proceed with confidence into what lies ahead. Recognizing the level of the dark area's boss matches previous foes, yet feeling an unmatched intimidation, he steels himself for battle. Astounded by his adversary's speed and power, he realizes the challenge ahead is far greater than he anticipated. As his body trembles uncontrollably, he suspects this might be his opponent's frightening skill, designed to intimidate and disarm. The words "tremble slow" manifest, emphasizing the paralyzing effect taking hold of him during the clash. Struggling against the paralysis, he wills his body to move, desperately trying to overcome the immobilizing force. As the tremble effect concludes, he regains his composure and resolves not to succumb easily, rallying his fighting spirit. Noticing a rush of pure energy emanating from the Ring of the Infinite, he wonders if this is the reason for the abnormal status ending. He questions if it's an illusion. With renewed vigor and defiance, he faces the beastly adversary, declaring he won't be defeated so easily by the boar-like creature. The creature acknowledges his strength and presence, surprised that its tremble-slow skill was broken by him. Shocked, he questions the creature's ability to speak, having assumed darkness was merely a horde of mute beasts. Still processing the revelation, he expresses disbelief, having thought the creatures of darkness couldn't communicate. The creature, embodying darkness, proclaims it as a higher existence beyond ordinary understanding. Faced with the creature's familiar technique, he recalls past battles and readies himself to counter this known threat. Regretting not having his dark goblin set, he laments the absence of the roaring tentacle skill, recalling it could exploit vulnerabilities. Grappling with a formidable enemy, he realizes the weapon's power and the challenge of this relentless foe. As the enemy's attack causes visual obstruction, he struggles to maintain his focus amidst the blinding assault. Overwhelmed by the speed of the enemy's attack, he acknowledges his inability to block the imminent blow. Already bleeding from a previous strike, he worries about his survival without medicinal aid, conscious of the critical bleeding status. Acknowledging the threat of blood loss, he resolves to defeat the creature before succumbing to his wounds. Torn between abandoning the fight to heal and the pressing danger, he curses the potential consequences of staying while bleeding out. Determined not to retreat, he decides to take decisive action and engage the enemy directly. Summoning a thunderous attack, he aims to overpower his adversary, seeking to bring the battle to a decisive end. As the dust settles, he questions if his attack truly succeeded, puzzled by the creature's failure to dodge. Tsuyoshi looks surprised as he realizes the thunder attack didn't work against his enemy. He understands that the situation is becoming troublesome, while facing a menacing presence promising to kill him. The shadowy figure declares that it doesn't need his sacrifice either, indicating a confusing intention against Tsuyoshi's assumptions. Tsuyoshi questions the meaning behind sacrifice, confused and trying to make sense of the sudden situation. A powerful aura surrounds the shadowy figure, suggesting a high level of strength with the ominous statement that this power is just at a basic level. As the enemy taunts Tsuyoshi by saying he's lost both his weapon and status as an adventurer, the situation becomes even more dire. The enemy, turning away, warns Tsuyoshi of another encounter where he's determined to kill him, suggesting an ongoing struggle. The enemy mockingly questions if this is Tsuyoshi's sacrifice. Tsuyoshi nervously wonders why the concept of sacrifice is being mentioned. A boar-like creature appears, visibly shocked about the use of a darkness-exclusive skill, and questions the identity of the user. Tsuyoshi gains a strategic position, thanking the enemy for approaching closer, believing this move will work to his advantage. Concealing his abilities, Tsuyoshi points out that he managed to replicate the sacrifice technique using absolute duplication, an impressive skill he has mastered. He acknowledges the risks of embodying the strongest body with an ultimate move, and confidently plans to crush the enemy using only his hands. The enemy expresses disbelief at a human using the darkness skill, clearly shaken by Tsuyoshi's unexpected power. In contrast, Tsuyoshi dismisses the difficulty, stating that achieving such feats is an easy task for him. The enemy recognizes Tsuyoshi's overwhelming power but notes that using darkness sacrifice only contains the strength through brute force. Tsuyoshi remains focused on his objective, mentioning he only has a limited time to defeat the opponent while the sacrifice is active. The enemy, laughing at Tsuyoshi's claim to defeat him, seems ready to retaliate with a counterattack. Tsuyoshi remembers that he also can use the sacrifice, hinting at his retained power in the upcoming conflict. The enemy calls out Tsuyoshi's skill as merely a copy, implying its ineffectiveness against his true power. Tsuyoshi, unfazed, responds confidently by harnessing a crackling energy, reassuring his resolve and memory of past events. He continues, acknowledging the previous move that disrupted the ground with Raiden and the opponent's weapon, indicating strategic thinking. The enemy, confused and unsure about Tsuyoshi's actions, realizes it might have been an intentional tactic relating to weapon displacement. Tsuyoshi reveals his strategy of demanding half of the enemy's blood as part of his larger plan to gain the upper hand. The enemy is overwhelmed and questions how a mere human like Tsuyoshi has gained such formidable strength, pointing out the copied nature. Despite Tsuyoshi's lack of a weapon, the enemy challenges him to survive an impending Raiden attack, confident in his own abilities. Tsuyoshi counters, ensuring that everything, including offering blood and using his physique as a weapon, serves his purpose flawlessly. Tsuyoshi, a formidable presence, declares his intent to reveal who is truly the foolish one in this encounter. Tsuyoshi internally acknowledges the pain coursing through his body from utilizing this sacrifice combined with his ultimate physique, though he knows it strains him greatly. With the combat concluding, Tsuyoshi manages to obtain a sought-after weapon from a fallen boss, a key tool for his journey. Reflecting on the situation, Tsuyoshi comments on the timely arrival of the weapon, relieved and prepared for what comes next. Tsuyoshi appreciates the power of the blood-red blade, considering how effectively he can wield it to enhance his attacks moving forward. The scene opens with a character contemplating a challenge ahead. He thinks about the benefits of increased experience points and decides that he cannot pass up the opportunity to gain more power by facing the challenge head-on. As he examines his wounds, the character reflects on how sacrificing health points after leveling up didn't resolve the lingering damage. He realizes that using a powerful skill came with an unwelcome cost. The character considers the consequences of diving into another difficult battle. He's aware that using his skill repeatedly might strain his abilities. Sakura had previously warned him about the dangers of continuing without resting. Despite the high risk, the character resolves to push forward. The plan was to reach a higher level within a week and make progress to safely return to his world. Skipping this experience bonus isn't an option for him. Accepting the sacrifices necessary to grow stronger, he knows hesitation is not an option. The character questions if he can continue with such determination, understanding that gaining strength comes with a price. Firm in his resolve, he chooses to enter the challenge, knowing that indecision could lead to failure. He apologizes for the delay but is ready to face what lies ahead with unwavering courage. Elsewhere, a female character and an elder worry about the prolonged absence of the character inside the challenge. They question why he hasn't emerged from the ordeal yet. Despite concerns, the elder reassures her that he might be choosing to continue challenging because it offers him a significant experience bonus. The elder expresses skepticism, pondering the feasibility of confronting the challenge again without replenishing necessary supplies. The dark area presents a risk that shouldn't be discounted. Still hopeful, the female character recalls his promise to return after the first round of challenges. She anxiously notes that the sound of thunder persists, foreshadowing his ongoing fight. Another character approaches, joking about taking a nap, surprised the challenge hasn't ended. He mocks the idea that no body has been found yet, wondering if the challenger is hiding or trembling in fear. Doubts abound as the newcomer questions whether anyone can survive the intermediate dark area's rigors alone. The group's skepticism underscores the challenge's notorious difficulty. The elder assures that if he made it through once and hasn't appeared yet, he is likely attempting the challenge again. The newcomer cynically notes that such determination is typical of young people seeking glory. Firmly, the female character insists that their leader will return and urges the others to refrain from negative talk. His survival is symbolized by the persistent sound of thunder. Observing her unwavering faith, the elder silently admires the girl's spirit and determination, acknowledging her resilience in this tense moment. The newcomers continue mocking, laughing at the notion that thunder signals life. They blame the girl for instilling excessive confidence in him, which could lead to disaster. Angered by their mockery, the character warns them to hold their tongues, hinting at her readiness to defend her leader's honor. Intervening, the elder commands silence until the character returns, instructing an abrasive challenger to leave the area. Despite this, the challenger claims he's merely telling the truth. He eagerly anticipates everyone's reaction when the supposedly defeated body is revealed. Interrupting, the elder dismisses the challenger's arrogance, highlighting his inability to sense the brewing tension and impending danger. Impressed, the elder reflects aloud on the girl's remarkable abilities, acknowledging her potential as a resilient ally. Suddenly, an unexpected phenomenon occurs. The portal that had been stable now shows signs of change, puzzling those nearby. Observing the change, the girl remarks that the sound of her leader's thunder has ceased, implying the situation inside the challenge has drastically shifted. Realizing the thunder has stopped, the skeptical character seizes the opportunity to ridicule, questioning the feasibility of a mere human tackling the dark area alone. The elder's attention shifts as he hears an unfamiliar sound emanating from the portal, startled by its suddenness. A dramatic whirlwind of energy emerges from the portal, leaving the spectators in awe and apprehension about what might follow. Alarmed, the elder wonders if the force of darkness is breaking the seal, struggling to believe such an occurrence is possible. Darkness breaches the portal, demanding the group brace themselves for what's to come. The elder warns of its emergence from the seal, escalating the tension. Each character reacts in disbelief, questioning how darkness could have possibly broken the seal, emphasizing the urgency of the situation. Emerging triumphant, the character finally returns, apologizing for his delay. He reveals his success in completing the challenge thrice, having leveled up multiple times, drawing strength from the successive victories. A mysterious man, battered and bruised, reveals to himself that he has reached level 9, showing signs of battle and struggle. Two surprised figures, a boar and a goat man, express amazement at the remarkable 3-level increase, questioning the hidden power within him. Urgency fills the scene as they urge an unknown woman to treat the injured man, hinting at the severity of his condition. As healing magic radiates in the air, the boar and goat explain the dire state of his muscles and nerves, acknowledging the miracle of his survival. The man, feeling better post-treatment, thanks the woman. She admonishes him for his reckless actions despite her caring demeanor. He apologizes, promising to be careful, but admits the temptation of leveling was too great. He assures her he won't exceed limits next time. The goat man questions the human about the 3 attempts he made, confirming the incredible feat again. Unbelieving but impressed, the goat man admits he didn't think anyone could challenge the dark area thrice alone. Reflecting on the evil aura, the goat man perceives the darkness in him stronger than expected, almost like the darkness itself. He muses that if Kevin is a genius, this human might surpass even that, amazed by his extraordinary capabilities. The boar man awkwardly apologizes for underestimating humans, showing a newfound respect for their potential. The woman acknowledges his understanding, and the man lightly reassures her about completing the treatment. They explain the reflex skill used, pointing out the difficulty of healing his deep wounds and the danger still present in his body. His near-death condition is elaborated, emphasizing how any delay in treatment could have been fatal due to intricate injuries. The man reflects on how the desire to level up is consuming him, causing a loss of self, substantiating his internal conflict. Amidst overwhelming risk, he contemplates the colossal danger before him, symbolized by intimidating eyes. Captivated and surprised by the mysterious eyes, he questions their meaning, startled and unsure. The woman notices his distraction and inquires about his well-being, sensing something is off. He brushes it off, claiming fatigue, but internally mulls over the sacrifices and dangers linked to using his special skill. The goat man offers him a special medicine, instructing him to take it daily and meditate for better absorption. The boar man expresses disbelief over the medicine being given, questioning the goat man's serious intentions. Thankful for the medicine, the man expresses gratitude, while the woman reacts with surprise at the item's significance. The goat man introduces the medicine as Kevin's favorite, insisting on a direct visit to him for advanced healing knowledge. He elaborates on Kevin's unique position on the continent, with his knowledge of the legendary law of ruin. Pondering the legendary law, the woman asks questions, revealing her curiosity but confusion over the matter. The boar man, slightly amused, points out the expectation of her knowing such things as an adventurer. A visual guide shows 12 laws governing magic, stressing the importance of discovering and utilizing these hidden powers. Kevin's mastery of the 12th law, the law of the great winds, is highlighted, emphasizing his genius and contribution to magic enhancement. Convinced of Kevin's skills, the boar man suggests he could heal the profound internal wounds the man suffers. Excitedly, the woman confirms the possibility of healing her master's body, sparking hope and eagerness. A hand holds a letter with a small branch, indicating it's not the right time to meet someone. However, with a letter of introduction, the person might agree to a meeting. In a dimly lit room, a grateful figure receives advice to take rare items and valuable medicinal materials for trading purposes. As figures pass through a gate, a character queries President Doug about the human who caught his interest. Walking together, President Dove and a companion discuss having exchanged a B-quality forbidden blood potion for valuable materials, expressing curiosity about how far a certain human can go. President Dove reflects on the high-risk investment, noting how few geniuses, let alone humans, have conquered the dark area alone. Walking toward a large building, Doug's companion mentions never hearing about anyone conquering the dark area alone, though it isn't entirely unprecedented. As the cityscape reveals grand buildings, a historical tale unfolds. 1,000 years ago, Garces, the ancient god king, was born to the Beastman clan. Amid woods, a voice asks Sakura about Kevin's whereabouts, seeking information urgently. Navigating through tangled branches, Sakura explains to a companion that she asked the president but learned Kevin's location is far, aligning with quest goals is suggested. Curious, the male companion questions the potential implications or challenges in their current pursuit. Light filters through trees as the necessity to form a party to complete the quest is emphasized. Observing a gathering, a character expresses surprise at the multitude of people present. Identifying the area, Sakura describes it as the quest point essential for their mission. Amongst adventurers, Sakura reveals that many gather here temporarily. A sign explains this is a place for special restricted quests offering bonuses. With enthusiasm, a character suggests trying the quest market, considering the advantages it offers, hinting at leveling up skills. Declaring his departure, the male character assures he'll be careful, while his companion promises to watch him too. A figure openly calls for level 15 warriors or tanks, specifying a combat power requirement of over 6,000. Promising bonuses, the call continues for qualified adventurers to join as they finalize the quest team. Discussion ensues between figures lamenting about the stubborn captain and the strict requirements that limit eligible candidates. A character suggests abandoning the current quest efforts, emphasizing how waiting wastes valuable quest points. Frustrated, the captain insists on pursuing the lone opportunity to obtain the blood rose valuable to their mission. Contemplating alternatives, a character admits they cannot embark without sufficient people, hoping for a better chance. Confidently, a young warrior asks to join, admitting his lower level but believing in his capabilities nonetheless. Surprised by the warrior's offer, the recruiter is willing to provide assistance, accepting the proposal despite his level 9 status. Skeptical reactions from the group arise, questioning what a level 9 can contribute, but the young warrior insists on his readiness. Faced with limited options, the captain considers giving the level 9 warrior a chance, anticipating outcomes of using available resources. A decision is made, reluctantly accepting the young warrior into their team, acknowledging the dire need for numbers. The captain firmly instructs the young warrior, emphasizing the importance of following commands and not acting independently. Happy to be part of a party, the young warrior expresses his excitement and readiness to the captain, eager for teamwork. As they move forward under the forest canopy, the young warrior cheerfully reflects on entering a party for the first time, his enthusiasm evident. A massive forest rhino charges forward, its presence indicating the difficulty ahead as someone mentions it's a level 16 quest. A soldier, frustrated with an informant, warns about the danger they'll face outside. The thought of the first enemy being a powerful forest rhino leaves him concerned about the boss. Despite the daunting challenge, reassurance comes from within the group. They're level 15 and accustomed to working together. They have a strategy to defeat the enemy or escape using the return horn. The return horn is revealed as a precious item essential for an escape. An adventurer expresses hesitation about the group member, wondering about his whereabouts. The team, with one missing, wonders whether the absent member did something before they arrived. His presence was felt earlier, causing concern. A warrior exudes confidence, comparing the current challenge to lesser ones faced in the dark area, and he engages the forest rhino fiercely. The warrior, confident and urging others to join his pace, looks forward to the rewards they might earn from this quest. The battle intensifies as the warriors face another fearsome creature. They must trust those behind to manage the threat with their skills. Observing the warrior's unmatched ability, another reflects on the strength of the level 9 warrior. It's unusual for one to clear a quest alone. The warrior's skill is remarkable as he proceeds through the forest, eliminating small fry with ease. His methods raise questions about his true level. A cleric marvels at the warrior's resilience, noting how his fight requires no healing, making the quest easier for everyone involved. The captain's curiosity about the warrior grows, suspecting he might be renowned given his talent. The challenge is to remember all such figures. Regular quests appear trivial in comparison to the dark region's fierce trials. Level 9 warriors can't usually shine here, yet this one defies expectations. As long as he controls the poison, the warrior feels at ease. The divine eye unveils monster weaknesses, leading him to consider taking blood samples as souvenirs. With a boss fight on the horizon, preparations begin. The smaller enemies are weak against fire, prompting a call to use fire-type magic for an advantage. Responding eagerly to the call for fire magic, a participant seizes the moment to demonstrate their prowess. The warrior warns his comrades about the dangerous vines with poisonous thorns, emphasizing the threat of poisoning. Faced with the unexpected knowledge, the group puzzles over the warrior's extensive monster expertise. It's surprising at his supposed level. Doubt lingers about his true abilities. The level 9 warrior exhibits experience that contradicts his rank, causing others to speculate. Fire-type magic erupts dramatically, effectively addressing the quest's challenges. The Burning Eddy technique plays a crucial role. As the group rests, they note that everything is progressing well thanks to Mr. Warrior's strength, hinting at an easy completion. Speculation about Mr. Warrior's uniqueness arises. He seems different, potentially indicating a special background or origin. A handshake between Victor and Tsuyoshi marks a cordial introduction, establishing names and instant camaraderie. Impressed by his skills, someone expresses a desire to uncover the warrior's true identity, suspecting he's more than a novice adventurer. Despite acknowledging his newbie status, skepticism persists. The notion is met with a dubious reaction but remains a point of agreement. The conversation shifts as they discuss regional quest rankings. The warrior's curiosity surfaces about this aspect of adventuring. A lack of knowledge about quest rankings leads to suspicions of feigned ignorance, hinting at deeper knowledge or experience. A detailed explanation follows about regional quest points and their role in the broader scale. The points have lasting significance. The quest rankings system records achievements and is fundamental for assessing performance across regions, suggesting future fame for the party. The warrior acknowledges the understanding of quest systems, noting similarities to his original world. He questions the underlying point being made. A character describes that they are part of a prestigious guild known as the Big Goat Party, which consists of elite warriors. The captain is praised as a hero for saving the guild valiantly at one point. A conversation ensues where a young man acknowledges understanding the situation and wants to know the purpose of the discussion. The quest involves dealing with mysterious dark area monsters residing in a swamp. The speaker seems knowledgeable, hinting that this quest might yield valuable information. Realizing the quest's nature, the young man enthusiastically mentions that the rewards for dealing with such monsters must be significant. The guild member explains the benefits of clearing the quest first, which includes a substantial bonus. They suggest meeting the captain to discuss further if the young man is interested. The young man considers participating as a viable option to help him level up while waiting to acquire necessary items. There's a discussion about the varying levels required for different quests. The young man, being level 9, is reassured participation in the level 18 quest shouldn't be problematic. He agrees to join but mentions he has 2 conditions. The guild member appears slightly taken aback and asks him to specify. The guild member sees an opportunity in this collaboration, imagining the credit they'll receive for first completion and their standing will improve in the guild. The first condition is the young man demands all the initial experience points upon clearing the quest. The second involves choosing the bonus rewards first, with the rest going to others. The guild member is surprised by these conditions, saying they need to ask the captain and other members before agreeing. They decide to continue their conversation after the quest is finished, having sufficiently rested and ready to proceed. After the clear-out, there's admiration for the young man. His impressive fire-tag magic led to hitting the boss's critical weak spot, significantly aiding the mission. Reflecting on the fight, it's acknowledged that without Tsuyoshi, aligning the attack correctly would have been challenging and delayed. The guild member commends Tsuyoshi, recounting how he strategically revealed the boss's weaknesses, rendering his assistance invaluable during the encounter. Tsuyoshi announces he's taken his share of the blood roses and instructs the others to share the rest among themselves. The group agrees to disperse temporarily with a plan to allocate the bonus and final rewards later, expressing their thanks. The guild member eagerly asks if Tsuyoshi has time to meet Captain Harvey for further introductions. A female character reflects on the swiftness of Tsuyoshi being invited to a party, noting how challenging it was for her to receive such an invitation until reaching a much higher level. She advises Tsuyoshi to be cautious, promising to gather information and report back in town once she returns from her errands. Tsuyoshi confirms their meeting spot should he be untraceable, and she hands him some potions and money as a precaution, meant to last a few days. Waving goodbye, Tsuyoshi gratefully acknowledges the assistance, wishing her good luck as he departs. The female character is determined to learn more about Tsuyoshi, particularly intrigued by his mastery of Earth-Wind Fusion Law. However, she realizes that her original plan regarding him requires modifications in light of his capabilities. Another character reacts skeptically upon hearing about a level 9 warrior with additional conditions, questioning the seriousness of the matter. Questioning why such a low-level warrior would join their elite party where the average level is notably higher, wondering if it's a joke. The guild member insists on Tsuyoshi's brilliance, citing their successful acquisition of blood roses thanks to his involvement. Another warrior dismisses these claims, finding it laughable that a level 9 warrior could have been this influential, suggesting that such fools shouldn't waste their time. Despite laughter from the crowd, the guild member insists on the truth of their story, suggesting skeptics should meet Tsuyoshi themselves. There's curiosity about someone's presence as a warrior inquires if this person is currently there. A character confirms that he brought someone who is waiting outside the entrance. The person he is speaking to comments on his boldness for bringing such a person. Another character, appearing frustrated, declares that he has had enough. He expresses determination to prove his capability as he believes he has been mocked repeatedly. The environment shifts as a character with a ram-like helmet hurries to meet the person waiting outside. Their companion expresses gratitude in response. Tsuyoshi, a level 9 warrior, introduces himself, acknowledging the presence of another character and expressing polite greetings. A character mocks Tsuyoshi, laughing and declaring him to look like a weakling based on his appearance. Tsuyoshi's companion advises him to ignore the mocking remarks, attempting to offer some support. The character with the ram-like helmet speaks to Tsuyoshi, referencing Victor and inquiring about Tsuyoshi's ability to tackle a new quest. He questions Tsuyoshi's confidence level in this endeavor. Tsuyoshi expresses full confidence in his ability to handle the quest, but hints that an additional condition is required for success. The inquiry about Tsuyoshi's additional condition is met with curiosity by the character in the ram-like helmet, intrigued by his bold confidence. Tsuyoshi, with a determined look, states his condition. He insists on being in charge and wants to take the role of captain for their mission.